What the fuck?
Yeah, what the
Hello?
fuck?
What the? Where's Jake? What's going on, guys? What's
Are we
where's
live?
Jake? Did he not show up?
Look,
Are we live?
I'm kind of over it. It's like Jake, he is like, look up dilly-dallying.
Dilly-dallying.
Is
Maybe
that
we
the
should-
word? Look it up
maybe
in the
we should
dictionary.
just-
Look up tardiness in the dictionary. Look
I
up.
don't think you can say that
Yeah.
word anymore.
I mean,
Look
it's
up.
the 50th
You can't say
show.
tardiness.
Tardy? Tardy.
Okay, let's just, instead of saying tardy, let's just say Jake.
Well, where is he? Are we gonna just do what we said with Ben? Maybe. What do you think?
I think that's a
feel
good
bad,
idea.
but-
We have been, it's sort of talking about it behind his back, but
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean-
Ben Dixon would be a suitable replacement. I say we.
Well, because Jake is so
take that
fucking
serious.
unreliable.
I mean, I vote for Ben
Sometimes.
Dixon. I don't like Jake.
Oh, shit.
Personally.
You want to get democratic? Okay, me too.
I
I
mean,
could text him right now if you wanted me to.
Jake is weird.
Look, I'll put it this way. I'll just, let's be nice about Ben Dixon is not weird. That's how we could say it. Ben Dixon is not weird.
Not weird.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
I think
Yeah.
we could get
Hey,
away
out
with that.
there. Hi, everybody's saying happy 50th.
Oh,
But
they should.
Jake's
Well,
not
hold on.
here to say it. Jeez.
Oh, hey, what's up, Jake? How's
Hey.
it going, man?
Hi, Jake.
Oh, it's going good. Good to
Good
see
to
you.
see
Good
you.
to see you.
Well, happy 50th.
Happy
Yeah.
50th.
Are you 50, Jake?
We were
It's
just-
hard to say. I'd have to.
We
Were
were
your-
just
were your
sitting
ears
here
ringing?
waiting, like saying how it didn't feel right without you, man.
Oh, of course
Oh,
not.
well,
we
yeah.
missed you. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
so
thank you.
cool.
That's
that
not
we're here
actually
now.
what they were saying. They were
Now
actually
all
saying-
four of us. And I would like to remind everyone not to talk over the intro. People worked a little too hard on this intro.
Obviously not. No, we'll be cool. We'll just hang out. Very good. You don't
You
have to talk.
cannot just start talking over intros and outros willy-nilly.
Yeah. We gotta let it play. For sure.
What I would rather do is just be professional.
Yeah. By the way, what is the name of this track?
Willy-nilly.
Spinebreaker?
I think it's called Left Past 10.
It's true. Andrea could just rename it to whatever she wants.
Does it really have a name?
I think it was version 5.
So there we go.
I remember saying I want it to sound like somebody's going upstairs.
Woo, here we go. And we are all here.
Hey, episode
Cheers.
50.
Mhm.
And let's start a new tradition. Every 50 episodes, we'll tell everyone that this is our all new weekly panel show where the four of us take a break
I
from our
know.
regular formats to get together and have a free form, unscripted conversation about anything that could come up.
That's right.
I did throw out a couple of things that maybe we could talk about, but who cares if we even get to it? It doesn't matter. It's as if we're sitting in our living room or at a pub or a cafe shooting the breeze. We're not drawing conclusions. We're not
Are you
agreeing
reading
on
off the
things.
teleprompter
The
right now?
lounge of a crack house.
Do you still have
Yeah.
the all new show up on your show notes? Does it
Yeah.
say the all new show?
Yeah, I think until we get to a year, which
Oh,
is
And
2
change it to
episodes away.
mostly new?
okay. But it's up to you.
Look,
You're the boss.
I like the idea that every 50 episodes we say this is our all new show. I really like that.
Somebody
Yeah.
left a snarky comment on this show last week saying, "What is this? I'm 10 minutes in. You haven't said what the show is about. You're looking at an
Is that on
interactive
my
map
channel?
for people you won't vote for." No, on mine.
Oh, really? Because it's
It's
usually
called
mine.
Left
The
Past
haters are
10.
coming.
Surely
Holy
it's
shit.
self-explanatory.
Well, I
And
just want to shout out to everybody.
And they were
Well-
like, the majority report thinks I should be here watching this, but he goes, he's just honest feedback. This is bullshit. And I was like, what?
Holy fuck.
Well, this is
I would
what they
like to
call
invite them on the program.
Yeah.
unscripted stress reduction. The whole week, I look forward to this because everything is so stressful. Everything is
Yeah.
so
Same.
messed up. And I look forward to this so much now, you know?
Yeah. And when I get those
Same.
comments that are totally
love you
thoughtless, my first reaction is give me something to work with. Because I don't know what to do with bullshit.
You have your
anymore
own
except delete
soundboard
it.
moments.
Oh my gosh.
No, and I mean, I would never go after people in a thoughtless way. And for anyone who says that I do,
Incidentally, this is something that I know the Letterhack would never do.
so
Oh, I get all kinds of thoughtless people. I mean,
Are you reading out the teleprompter
but
again?
not my regular.
What is
people.
this? This is too convenient. This is scripted.
Do you have
I'm just good at it.
teleprompter?
I'm just
I
good at
want
this.
one.
How much? Do you know how much a teleprompter would be?
No, I have no idea.
I could
Can you-
barely get these headphones to work every
Right,
night.
I'm telling you, my lights are on. Yeah, I can you use an iPad as a teleprompter?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I have my notes app open, but I'm not reading off it.
I don't have space. I've got these two things. I think my whole configuration could be better because I'm always constantly, whatever, you know.
Yeah, I am trying to scrounge up some funds. I actually sold a bunch of books. I have kind of a naked bookshelf now. It's like I almost don't know what to do with my shelf.
Your show. I covered mine up with the green screen tonight because everything's all a mess back there. I have to go through all this paperwork and crap, so I didn't want to clean it up. So I just put up the green screen. You don't know what to do with your shelf. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do with his shelf. Well, yes, I've got lots of paperwork. It's like paperwork week, I guess, and it's all on the back there. And
I would love to have Olay on.
Oh my
yeah,
god!
hell yeah! I shared her Project 2025 video everywhere. It was really well done, and I thought, why repeat what she did? I mean, we did chapter 13. Me and Antonio, we did the EPA, National Weather Service, NOAA, on last Friday night, but she did a spectacular job.
And she is the Captain Ahab to Eric Adams's being a Moby Dick.
Oh, he is a Moby Dick, isn't he? Oh my God, get rid of that asshole.
He just got indicted on federal charges less than a half an hour ago.
Exciting.
We should have her on as a victory lap. Like, we should call it a victory lap. And she just goes on all kinds of lefty shows like, this guy, I told you. I told you.
Well, he's completely a last Saturday night? Yeah, Looney Tunes, sorry. I forget. It was Saturday.
We're doing that.
Did he really?
Okay.
DJ X.
Did
yes. How are you talking to him? Send him. Show me. Yes, I would love to have Jackson White on. That'd be awesome.
People are noticing my sweater, which is very cool.
The future is vegan.
Yes, yes.
I think it's more just inevitable. Hey, Adrian Vixen, what is
Hey, I know
up?
that gal.
You know, it's funny because you have that shirt on, and I went to the farmer dinner tonight where I live, and it's from the cooperative extension, and it's not just vegetable farming. You know, it was all kinds of farmers.
The
but
peasant is bloody.
Yeah, but this is where I live. You know, and
no shame in that.
It was interesting, and I enjoyed myself with my farmer neighbors.
I'm just saying, whether you like it or not, the future is vegan.
That's right.
It's just how it's going to end up. Okay.
right.
Let me throw this at you.
Yeah.
Because I may have mentioned this before, but I am so freaking excited for lab-grown meat. First of all, I miss meat, but my way of being will not allow me to cause the death of another creature for a meal. But if that's grown in a lab, amazing. And secondly, imagine getting the scientifically designed perfect cut of meat.
It's going to be
Look at you.
Hey.
I think of Brown 25 from Uranus Corporation.
I want my pig lips and assholes perfectly designed in the hot dogs. It's going to be great.
When I gave up meat for like several years, and before I did, I went out and got one of it was a $350 steak at this restaurant. It was just like, I said, who's got the best steak I could find? And that was their cheapest one. I was like, holy shit. It's crazy.
Lordy.
Yeah, it was wild. But I was like, I'm going out in style. Okay, look. Just real quick, speaking of Tyler Hackner and Eric Adams, I gotta show you. There's this awesome
dynamic duo.
Mehdi Hassan put out this hilarious tweet because he called out Eric Adams as being like very much like Trump 2.5 years ago, right? And he's like, the new mayor is a lot more Trumpy than you might think. Me
Yeah,
on Eric
he's not
Adams
even-
more than 2.5 years ago. And then scroll down, here's Tyler Hackner. You called it, but to be honest, so did everyone.
Oh, geez, that's funny.
Damn.
I don't
I
even
love
know
that.
why.
Holy shit, Tyler. Holy fuck.
Clearly not.
He's like, you called it, but to be honest,
Mhm.
everyone did.
Yeah,
And
big whoop.
and he's like, TBH, everyone did.
So I want
Oh,
to
I
shout
love
out
that,
to
guys.
Nina Canadian, who is our newest moderator. on the
Hey, all
channel.
right. Nina
Hey.
And,
Canadian.
yeah, she
You like
joins.
Canadians in your chat. Okay.
I
I'm
love
just kidding.
Canadians.
Progressive.
kidding.
Progressive.
I will be having a Canadian scientist on in a couple of weeks, Paul Beckwith. So everybody,
Oh,
that's
awesome.
a shout out. Yes, he's awesome. He's awesome.
Cool.
Anti-corporatist follows him pretty much regularly.
But only
uh,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Poppy also said we can have our chickens. That's right, because I get chicken. I do eat chicken, and I get it from my neighbor Lori, who brought me over eggs yesterday. So that's because where I live, you know.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, fair enough.
yes, we love Nina. So yay!
Absolutely, man.
And she's
Sorry, I'm just-
beautiful too.
Making a note to invite Jackson White.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And
we
holy
bring I want Antonio to come back on with us. It's time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's like the brain of a walking encyclopedia of history and everything. So
I'm
open to
speaking
it.
of Canadians and guests, the True North Eager Beaver guys. I effing love those dudes.
aw.
Yeah.
Doug and Paul. They are delightful. I will pass along an invite if we have a free time open up.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it. They're fun.
Excellent.
They did the wrestling show with me.
Yeah, those guys are
So,
cool.
Yeah, man.
I'm down.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting people we can plan for the next 50 weeks. Yes.
Are we
The
planning
only per-
anything for 52?
You mean
probably
the
should.
real
And by we,
anniversary?
I mean everyone else that's not me.
I would like to plan that everyone be here for that.
Okay, that's a good
Oh, of
start.
course.
That's definitely
That's-
achievable.
Okay, that's that's what, October 9th?
Yes.
I have absolutely nothing on my calendar, so that's like I would, you know. Yeah. I did I have to say I did tonight. So
Should we
Yeah.
have a guest that week or should we just do the
I think just the
OGs?
gang.
I think it
Yeah.
should just be us for 52.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be
And
50.
then we'll bring Ben Dixon on as a new regular.
Yeah. I'm going to be 50 in December.
Oh, we have to have a
shit.
big party.
Talk
Big
about a
old party.
fucking milestone.
Big party. I'm still the
It's
boomer.
a
I was
mile boulder.
called. Yes,
A
I
mile
was
boulder, yes.
insulted. Someone called a boomer card on me, and I said, "No, I'm sorry, I'm Generation Jones."
Let me answer this question with a clip.
Yo, it was a really good time with the Letterhack yesterday. That shit was dope. That was a great time.
That's
So-
great.
Stunning endorsement. That's like a
That's-
book jacket quote.
That
That
answer
shit
your
was
That's
question?
100% how I
Dope.
felt, man.
That shit
was dope.
dope. I watch that show. Yeah, I watch him every now and then when I can.
That's when
50, though.
his interview on the Letterhack is how I found out he used to be like an entertainment promoter, like events promoter, which makes perfect sense hearing him now. Like he's just that sort of guy, outgoing and what have you.
Yeah, right.
Do you think that? Okay, let's keep talking about me being 50 for a minute here.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. Ouch. Yeah.
I guess I'm a little blue about it, but
What does that mean?
it's probably like, you know, when you're depressed, they say you're blue,
Mhm.
You're depressed.
but it's not.
Powerful language.
But yeah, but it's not that heavy.
I'm so blue.
So I guess I'm more like light blue about it.
Light blue. Oh,
Oh, Jake saw
gee,
that
light
coming a
blue.
mile away. No, but
Light-
seriously, I don't give a fuck about turning 50, man. I'm not.
No, you're
I mean,
you're in shape. Life is good.
I thank you
You're,
for assuming that. I was talking to a guy today, who is like 49, and I would have guessed way older.
Yeah.
So I
You're
think
winning the race.
it's a lot to be said for being young at heart.
Oh, well, I'm definitely young at heart. But my spine, my neck, my shoulder.
Like I did
Sandy,
this.
that one.
That's good.
Boom. Yeah.
I did this podcast a few
Uh,
weeks ago, and they were like, "You're so relaxed and chill," and I was like, "I don't give a shit." And they were like, "What?" And I was like, "That's just how I go about things. I really don't care. What should I be stressed about?" And they're like, "Wow." And I was like, "I'm being serious. I don't care what happened. Let something go wrong. Who cares? We'll fix it." And they're like, "Okay." I was like,
Well,
"Sorry."
okay. We're going to talk about fixing shit. I don't want to.
Mm.
There's so
Yeah.
much happening here that needs to be
Let it be
fixed.
broken for tonight. Just let it be.
I do
Yeah.
think
not-
I'm gonna not go
Yeah.
to the doctor ever again.
Oh, stop.
Oh God, that seems like
What's up?
a terrible.
Well, if
plan.
there's something wrong, yeah,
Okay.
go to the doctor. But I'm not living. See, I think maybe you'll agree. A lot of people go through their life not taking any precautions, not worrying about their health, not
Yeah.
having a proper diet, and then they get to a point where all they do is go to the doctor trying to make up for that.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
I'm with you.
I'm not
I'm
going to
with
keep.
you.
I'm not going to get into the cycle. You know, I'm just going to be healthy and do things as right. I'm going to take a doctor's advice without hearing a doctor give me
Right.
the advice.
I kind of agree.
Fair.
During the pandemic and my lousy ass marriage, I gained a lot of weight, and it was like a force field. It was like made me invisible. I was very unhappy, and I will never do that again, because prior in my life, I was always a workout person and did very well, right? But that was a bad time. So, but now I'm back to, getting myself in shape, but it takes time.
Hell yeah.
And as you get older, it's harder and everything is fucked up. So, I don't know if you want me to say that word, but anyway.
What? On
But I'm
Left
not-
Past 10?
Yeah, that's
What
right.
the fuck?
Okay,
What word?
Everything
What?
is
Wait.
fucked up.
Oh, at episode 50, you're going to start dropping F-bombs?
Yeah, right.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Sorry.
50 is an F-bomb.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Wait till you get to be. I'm not gonna disclose.
I just wrote a Hallmark card.
I'm lying.
That's the ultimate
Yep.
Hallmark card for 50 years old, right? Sorry to drop an
Old.
F-bomb. And then you open it, but happy 50th birthday.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
I mean, you could also use it for 40 too.
you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
where
if
is
you make it to
everybody tonight?
400. Do we have any vampires in the audience?
Andrea is like the Hallmark card editor. No, that's no.
I have fangs. I am a
Too
vampire.
open-ended.
I had fangs.
Ah, yeah.
I had them,
You got pointy teeth. Look at that.
yeah, but I had them filed off. They were
I have
even
pointy
worse.
teeth. Yeah. I have teeth that are
Really?
like turned and look
Yeah.
pointy.
And I sleep in
Ah.
a coffin.
I will not be showing up close photographs of my dental situation at this time.
I just
You
I
smile
just now
lovely,
realized I can
Andrea.
do this. I missed it on the first time through. I've got nieces and nephews now that if I sleep in a coffin like this when they're visiting, I have an opportunity to for the rest of their lives make them think I'm basically the
Dude,
undead.
especially if that coffin is standing upright,
Yeah, if I could just get it like that, I think I could fall asleep
like in the
that
kitchen.
angle.
Yeah.
No,
in the
no,
kitchen.
it's got to be something because they discover stuff all the time without you
basement.
realizing it. Yeah,
Just open the door, hang a sign that says free candy with an arrow, and then you're
No, no,
down
no,
there in
you-
the coffin like,
it's got to be something they
Tootsie
think
Rolls.
they stumbled upon. Like, is Uncle Jake
Weird.
Nosferatu or
That's a really good idea. But we have to delete this tape. Otherwise, they'll know it's a
They'll see
scam.
it.
you're
They can
right?
see it. Well,
Fair enough. That's too late now. I'll think of something off air. Dang
It's
it.
true.
I got to bring my skeleton in from the garden, and this time I decided I'm going to bring him in the house and prop him on the thing.
You got a skeleton in the garden?
Yeah, I used to have him riding around in the back of my car. I know you saw those pictures. I bought it from some old science teacher. It's a skeleton. I had it in the back of the car for like 2 years, riding with me all the time.
Right.
And then I finally decided to take it out and put it in the garden this year. But it's got the stand.
Good
stand up
fertilizer.
Right.
Putting it in the garden. That's a good idea.
Well,
But how great to literally have a skeleton in your closet. I like that.
skeletons in the closet. but I might bring it in this room. I don't know yet. It might scare the cats. I don't know.
I was so I like pranks like that. I think that's funny, and I found this like to-do list. It's a joke to-do list. Number 1, make vanilla pudding, put in mayo jar, eat in public. It's fucking funny, right?
Yeah,
That's solid.
that is.
That's good.
Number 2,
Oh.
hire 2 private investigators, get them to follow each other.
Oh,
I think I saw that on like a show or a movie once.
okay.
Number 3, wear a shirt that says life, hand out lemons on street corner.
Oh, life can sometimes.
life gives you lemons.
lemons.
Uh,
Yes. I like the mayonnaise one. I mean, seriously, I want to do that. That's
Number
hilarious.
4, this is number 4 is my least favorite, I think. Get
Okay.
into a crowded elevator and say, I bet you're all wondering why I gathered you here today.
Jeez, they probably shove you off the next floor.
Yeah. 5, major in philosophy. Ask people why they would like fries with that. I think that's funny.
Why they would like fries with that.
Number 6, this is my favorite. Run into a store, ask what year it is. When someone answers, yell, "It worked," and run out cheering. Like a time traveler, be like, "It worked."
That's
I
pretty
think-
good. I
think if you did that right, everyone would be like, "That was fucking funny," and you left. So you go out on a high note.
Poppy is really having fun in the chat with after I said Uranus.
Yeah.
I mean, she is having fun. Hey, Pop.
Yeah, I was wondering whose chat that was.
Yeah, she's having fun.
Number 7, become a doctor, change last name to Acula,
Oh yeah.
which circles back to the vampire.
Independently, I've thought that would be a delightful thing to do.
Good, yeah.
Has
That's
anyone
clever.
done that? Why
Look it
not?
up, Dr. Acula. Google it. Number 8, change name to Simon. Speak in third person. Simon says this podcast is going great.
Oh, boy.
Number 9, buy a parrot. Teach the parrot to say, "Help! I've been turned into a parrot." My uncle had a fucking parrot, and he trained it that at night when you cover its cage with like a curtain or a blanket or something.
Mhm.
After like 5 seconds, so you cover it, now you're walking away, then the parrot says, "Good night." And that is fucking creepy.
Oh,
So he trained
Ooh.
the parrot. Look at Jake's looking up Dr. Acula right now. Right?
No.
Dracula.
Oh,
Wait. What does the parrot say when you put the thing over the cage?
good night. Like it whispers,
Oh,
good night.
Yeah.
But like you're walking, you cover it, you're walking away, and it says, good night. And it's just, it feels creepy to me.
that's awesome.
But it
Kinda
would be
sweet too.
It would be funny if it was saying, "Help, I've been turned into a parrot." Help,
Oh yeah.
I've been turned into a parrot. Okay, number 10. I'm gonna fucking do this.
Okay, fucking do it.
Follow joggers around in your car, blasting "Eye of the Tiger" for encouragement.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine just being like next to some joggers
They'll call
playing
the
"Eye of
cops,
the Tiger" and they look over at you and you're like, "Go, you can do it.
and they'll call the cops.
I'm right here."
That's like
I
the
would
premise
run
to
the fuck away. I would
That's the
run.
idea.
I would get the hell out of there.
It would almost you could
Alright,
do
number
both. You could also
11.
discourage them by like running behind them, holding the thing. And if you can keep up with them, at first they'd be motivated, but then they'd be like, "God damn, I can't get away from this person who's holding a boombox."
All right,
I think
well,
that would
number,
that would get into the criminal territory. I think.
Yeah, at that point, sure. What's number 11?
For me is change my last name to Beach.
That's good.
That's
That is
good.
good.
Sandy
And when
Beach.
I was in high school, there was a kid named Richard Beach, and oh Lord, I got teased so badly about marrying Richard. Ugh, he was gross. But sorry.
I mean, I really
didn't-
used to do that where I've probably talked about this before. Just cut me off if I have. I'm a big fan of having a theme song or a soundtrack in your head for certain situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm big on that.
Tell us more.
No, like I would go into portfolio reviews and you're standing in line and you're just watching people get like rejected and walk away like, oh my God. Like I've been like devastated. Like their dreams have been ruined. And I'm just sitting there like just listening to the song that's giving me like Street Fighting Man by the Rolling Stones. Like I'm just sitting there listening to that song. And then when I go into the review, you can't hurt me.
Okay.
Unironically,
So you got a little ritual.
listen,
It's pretty good.
Chala head chala when I'm working out. Specifically,
What
when
is
I'm
that?
running.
Excellent choice.
It's the theme to Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
Sandy, I just want to point out because I've thought this the entire time we've known each other. Shellis is very close to Shoals. Like you
Right.
could mispronounce it Shoals, and the idea
Everybody
that you are
does.
Sandy Shoals, aka Shellis, there's something there. A shoal being an underwater ridge, sandy one
Okay,
presumably.
very interesting. But the O is silent.
Yes, it's
Yes,
true.
it
It
is.
only works with the mispronunciation.
It's jealous.
Well,
I
can't you
kept
just
What's
I
say
kept
everybody's
the name.
pronunciation?
I
Who dictates?
I
It's
could dump
your
the
name.
name. I could dump the name, but that's a pain in the ass.
True.
What?
I mean, I could pick anything. I had a show and I asked people, what should I change my name? Sandy Arctic, Sandy Blue Ocean, Sandy Beach,
Change it to Coffee House last name.
Sandra A. Coffee House.
There you go.
I
I
don't
mean,
know, though.
we all
through
know
that.
Crystal Ball.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
that was
right.
genius. That
It's
was
not a real
solid
AI
move.
generated person.
I can't
Not a
imagine
real
going
name.
through all
I'm
that
sorry.
crap.
I'm
though.
sorry.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm-
I can go back to my other. I think that when you get divorced, you can go back to like your maiden name or your other marriage. I mean, I've had 3 names. So, but if I
That's pretty
wanted to
rad.
legally change my name, I would. That's different. I'd have to go through this whole rigmarole. And why bother when everybody knows me as Sandy Shellis?
I like the idea that if somebody calls you out for something you did while you had a different name, you can be like, that was the other Sandy.
Yeah, exactly.
Different Sandy.
That's funny.
Do you guys do porn star names?
Yes.
April Dancer.
Mine is Sam Monterey, which sounds like too good.
That's too good. Well, does anybody know back in the
Alex
day?
Parkside.
Do you not know how to do this? Do you not know the game, Andrea?
Oh, I'm just abstaining.
Oh, okay. You had a look on your face like, where? I didn't make up Sam Monterey as in my preferred porn star name.
Well,
I
I
didn't
mean,
make
I
up
don't. Is that a
mine either.
person? Is that like I don't? Yeah.
It's
I
the
don't-
name of your first dog and the first street you lived on,
Oh,
or first pet.
oh. See, mine
never
came
mind.
from Jake. Do you remember the show, the reruns? Did you ever watch The Man from Uncle?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a very
Oh,
old
yeah.
show. Well, April Dancer. She was April Dancer.
Oh,
She
so
was
you
the
guys really did
character.
just make up your own porn star name.
Yeah,
I was trying to
back
do
in
the thing
day.
you were doing,
Fuck
but I got it
naked
wrong.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, what would it be if it
Oh,
was your
that's
first
my
pet?
name now. I'm sorry.
Like
It's
my first
No,
pet?
that was your first
Pet in
pet.
the
Porn-
street.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No. You have to use Sandy.
I have to think of it.
Oh, then I will say it would be technically
Okay, I've got it.
Rocky. I think Rocky Parkside.
Okay.
But I'm going
Awesome,
buck
dude.
naked.
Mine
I'm
would
going buck
be
naked.
Rocky
That's too good.
Parkside.
Mine would be Franz Whitman because
Ooh.
that was the name
Oh.
of our dog, Franz Joseph. We lived on Whitman Road.
like
Franz
European and whatnot.
Whitman. Franz Whitman. She's
I
Miss
think it's-
Franz Whitman.
That first of all, that would work with you, Sandy. That it gets a good like I could see you having that vibe, but I'm more of a fan of not letting fate dictate for you. I like just picking a porno name. Buck
Okay.
naked is so good, and I would spell it with 2 K's and no C's.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
but that's not
Maybe just-
really that original. I've heard of it before. Remember, I bartended in a strip joint for years. So
Okay,
I've heard them all.
I was trying to figure out a way if I
A long
could
time
work
ago.
this in. I
Clothing.
was gonna save it for a lie detector, And then I was like,
Yeah.
maybe I can, because it's crass. I was like, maybe I can bring it up on at left past 10. It might not be late enough though. I
I'm
don't know
down.
if it's
So we
okay to
can
talk
wait
about.
another hour or two.
Because in high school, I spent like a week at the lunch table, every day at the lunch table for a week writing a porno movie.
Yeah.
Okay, like a
And
whole film, like a screenplay. Was
it
it formatted
was
correctly?
it was a lengthy premise,
A
an
premise?
explanation, like a
You had
synopsis.
concepts of a movie.
Yeah, it's a cartoon sequel to Deep Throat. And
love it.
Like I said, we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but do
I
you
want
guys
to know.
do you know the premise to that movie?
Which movie?
I didn't before
Deep
tonight.
Throat. It's okay, so this
Yes,
it
course.
transcended the porn industry and became like mainstream. They had a big
Mhm.
opening for it and everything. You remember the premise? Does everyone know the premise?
Explain
Yes.
it for the audience, the basic
Go
premise.
ahead.
Sandy, do you want to explain it?
No, because I'm terrible at that. Go ahead, Matt. I know it was a undercover thing.
It's a fallacious
No.
woman. We
Go
know
ahead.
this.
No, I don't remember
But
then.
why?
I mean, I know I've seen it, but come on. Don't make me think.
She couldn't
Hard.
have a traditional orgasm and she didn't know why. So she went to the doctor and he discovered that
Oh,
yeah. that her clitoris was in her throat. And so it was necessary to find well-endowed man in order to
Yeah.
right.
Oh
It's like
my
a
God.
sci-fi fairy tale almost.
That's funny.
So in the
I
cartoon
remember it
sequel, because I was critical of that movie, I was like, you know what? One of the most delightful aspects of pornography is the dialogue, right?
Yeah.
And like you're missing the
Hold on, did you
opportunity
say
by
the word
having her.
delightful? Is
I
that
Well, yeah,
remember
it's funny
now.
as shit.
That's-
It's like
That's
going
what I
like I
watch
can't.
porn for.
It's like, did
It's
somebody
dialogue.
write this? Or are they ad-libbing?
I
So-
remember now.
delightful?
Linda Lovelace. Yep.
The
So in
Germans
the
famously-
sequel, in the cartoon sequel that I came up with, I tried to make it so that we could capitalize on the corny dialogue, right?
So is her clit in her hand in this one, or
No.
what are we talking about?
I put it in the ear, and it's called "Fuck My Brains Out." Right?
That's funny. Oh, that's funny.
And
Oh shit.
you know, now you can
And this
have
is
that.
a real story, not an elaborate joke.
You
No, yeah, I
missed-
did.
Matt,
I
you
wrote
missed
this.
an opportunity to call it hard of hearing.
Oh.
Well, instead of like faster, harder, you'd be like, louder. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's just like
Lord.
there was all these like innuendos about like that had to do with like being able to hear, and
How did we get onto this?
it gets really crude quick. I mean, I was in high school, so it gets really bad. But
Behind the scenes, I told this to Matt. I will tell it to you guys as well. I am of the belief that if you are a serious actor, like you are in it because you love acting, not for the money. And hello, and I think I saw that. CAC, good to see you, my friend. But if you love acting, I feel that there should be an appeal to you to try to be every kind of actor. You should try to be a stage, screen, TV, and yes, pornographic actor. And
So
it does
there's
not
this-
necessarily mean you got to be buck naked at any point, but you should have a part in. You could be the pizza guy that says like, "Hey, Rod, they want an extra large sausage over at
and
Johnny
it's like
Parkside's."
De Niro.
Yeah,
going to
or like
deliver-
Gary Oldman or something.
And there's
Helen
a-
Hunt is just randomly like, "All right, pool boy, remember, no more fucking the customers."
Oh my
there's
God.
something to it. I mean, they practically do it anyway. But anyway, I was thinking about putting that in a lie detector, and I was like, it's not wholesome enough. I'll try it on
For lie detector.
It's not
Well,
so
yeah.
lie detector requires wholesome stories.
Yeah, we're not wholesome here.
Mm.
I know
But it
it's not a
has-
script, but if you still have like the outline, I would love to read it as a script. Like do a table read, like, "Doctor,
needs-
why do I
Oh,
keep
this is
coming
fun.
from these Q-tips or whatever?"
Yeah, and remember, it would be a cartoon.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was necessary because it would
Yeah.
be like I could just see real life actors being like, "What do we have to do?"
Plus, you don't want to deal with hiring actors. That's not something a high
Yeah.
schooler should be dealing with for this.
It's also not physically possible, to my knowledge,
Oh, this is
to
too
engage in
funny.
the acts you would have to engage in for the
Shit.
premise to work.
Well, let's not go that far.
The mustache cat.
Tinkerbell.
One of the first
Yeah.
bits I did on my channel, I think maybe the first short I ever did was making fun of my ridiculous mustache.
It's not ridiculous.
What do you mean
It is, and I
ridiculous?
love it.
It's genre.
Has it been
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
ever since?
70s
Do you
porno
change it up at
genre.
all?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, what, Andrea?
Do you change it up at all, or is it the same, overall format?
It's mostly the same. Sometimes I'll let her go a little long so I can just so I can muse like that. But no, I mostly like the traditional mouth crown.
I see.
Mouth crown.
Just a
That's awesome.
uncreative bar
Anyway.
sitting right up there.
Sorry, I ruined the whole.
No,
show.
it's been pretty
Not
funny.
at all.
I
That's
can
the
bring
way.
it back.
Think
I-
back.
All right. You ruined it just so you could bring it back?
Yeah, look, there was a. I'm gonna scroll TikTok here. There was a TikTok that I saw, and
We're on this part of the show.
the cynical bastard in me was rolling his eyes like, "Are you kidding me? Come on!" And then because the caption, which I'll show you, it's a wolf, and the trainer's holding the wolf, and there's like a crowd of people there, right? And it's like the caption says, I'll just put it up. I'm just afraid it's going to start playing right. It says, "Wow, heard a wolf howl for the first time and almost cried." And I was like, first time? What is it? Is this a 3-year-old's fucking? And what I think they meant was in real life, not just like a video or something. But I was like, that just sounds so like you cried. Give me a break. So then I had to hear it for myself. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. Almost cried. I can't see the volume because it's all white here. So
This is awesome.
Okay,
I
here we
love
go.
this kind of stuff.
Out a little bit, so he doesn't want to stop there. He wants to howl a couple times back and forth. So we'll keep it going.
Can you
guys
hear it?
willing? All right, let's try it out.
I'll shut up.
Hey, ooh, oh, hey, oh.
I'm sorry. My bad.
No, that's all right.
I'm sorry.
I was looking forward to the howling. I was excited.
I know.
I
Very-
literally
very-
have
I
that
would cry
outside.
too if I were to see that without trying not to cry, because I was, once you say I was going to cry or whatever, I'm
Well,
trying
now-
really hard and focusing on not crying. So
And
But if
now
I
the
were not-
caption is awesome. Right?
Oh,
Because I really was like, what is this bullshit caption? And then when I started hearing it, I was like, oh, that's funny as shit. That's good.
yeah, that was.
You know
good.
what?
this is my favorite part of the show. I love I can't find the volume. This is all excellent. Is this all part of the teleprompter? Is this all part of it?
The first the like grandfather of that particular style of doing dog voices or animal voices is a guy named Rockstar, spelled with all X's instead of O's. And just because I happen to have found one, like his first viral clip, I found it extraordinarily funny. I watched it easily 1,000 times. Facts. Well done, Roll and Switch.
Yeah.
He basically, because I happened to see that, I noted things about his performance, and he's been so successful that other people now do that, like watching when the dog's or the animal's mouth moves to time the thing you're saying with the
Oh,
mouth moving,
sure.
is invented by a guy named Rockstar, or first popularized by him,
Okay.
and it's just cool to see it.
I didn't know.
Well,
that.
did y'all see
Tom Trask,
the
hello.
Kifness doing the cat? He does cats, and he's from South Africa. He's a musician that does a lot of reggae. And I found him during the pandemic, and he takes his cat and he records his cat, doing it. And he just did the Trump. He took the Trump eats the cats, eat the dogs, and it got like
Oh,
30 million views. It's hilarious. But he
Oh,
raised a
lovely.
whole lot of money for the animal shelter in Springfield, Ohio.
That's cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was really nice. And
Yeah, because
he's just done a big tour that he was doing anyway. He just did it, but I think he's up to 30,000 for the animal shelter.
wow.
Yeah.
The only
Kiffness.
problem
What a
is that
good
there's
man.
no animals at the shelter because they were all consumed.
All right, Andrea. But
It's a money
anyway, yeah,
laundering
it was
scheme?
it was good. So if you look up the Kiffness, and I don't think it would be a copyright. Okay.
Yeah.
So it has
Yeah.
changed forms.
Wicked. That's
Yeah, look at
for
that.
what
It is.
You can do.
It was much
My
It's
name
closer
is
to
there.
Whip.
Jake, and
It's
I gotta
there.
tell you, today I am going to come in hot. Excuse me.
The exact same
Have a
style
good day.
headphone.
Walked in. Let's open it as long as we're here.
This is funny.
Apparently, this
20 pounds
mustache
bad.
Oh my God.
legally obligates me to participate in a 1970s pornography film.
Does this involve a time machine?
Well, looks like your old pal Jake's gonna make some money.
Oh yeah. When did you do
Key
this?
grip. There's
Like a
Key
year
grip.
ago.
178 people who would have loved to see.
When I had
Anyway, it's
178
going to be a
subscribers.
fascinating Tuesday.
Oh, that's funny.
That's great.
Holy
That's
shit.
awesome. Key grip.
That is
Key grip does sound like the name
funny.
of a porn, but we'll leave it there.
It
Oh,
does.
Jean just put the Kiffness up. She put that video up in the chat. I don't think we would get a copyright if we showed it. It was so cute.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know though. I really don't
They
know.
did an
but
AI. So a comedian
Super
did a
cute.
song
Super
using
cute.
AI, and it's actually quite good. Out of their eating the cats. When I started saying that, I thought it would be more interesting, and when I got to the end, I realized, to my horror, that it wasn't very interesting. It doesn't go anywhere.
To my horror.
Um,
It is pretty horrifying when you realize that, but it's already too late.
Yeah, you're committed. You got to finish the sentence.
Oh,
speaking of comedians,
Hey, Andy.
I saw a clip of Francesca Fiorentini
Oh.
on Pierce Morgan tonight.
fuck.
I don't know if anybody else has seen this. Maybe some folks in the chat. It came out pretty hot off the
I haven't seen
presses.
She's awesome.
Look, I've been pretty vocal about Pierce Morgan, that whole show. It's bullshit. It's not a panel show. He's doing it for ratings and clicks. It's all, I hate it so much. It's not the kind of thing that you need. I don't think leftists need to be on there to win over the other crowd. Maybe that happens, but I think everyone watches that show, and it doesn't define. That show is not
we could
defining
get Pierce
somebody's
Morgan
politics.
on Left Past 10. You think?
Yeah, but does it
I would love
when they
that.
bring somebody like her on? Isn't it just educational purposes, and whoever listens is going to take what they want and leave the
It's just
rest?
bickering. It's not really
Oh,
informative.
I
But
don't
like
watch that
this
very
clip,
often. All right,
What?
let's
Well, I
watch
do love bickering, so let's watch.
Before we watch it, do you remember
Oh,
that soda I drank
yeah.
at the beginning of the show? It's through with me.
Yeah.
So I'll listen. I'll be back in like a very short amount of time. But I
we
am
can
listening.
wait if you want.
This
'Cause it's,
soda's wreaking
Wait
havoc.
while I urinate.
you mean
That's
bio break?
too much pressure.
Okay,
yes,
we'll play it.
bio.
We'll play it.
I prefer Bio Broly.
Still
Here we
listening. I actually enjoyed that movie.
Here we go. Check this
Okay.
out. This
Let's
was
go.
just too good not to play.
Imagine, okay, a second Trump administration, what would it be like? What would it be like for women?
Yeah.
We don't have to, because it's happening right now, where people are bleeding out in their cars from having miscarriages that should be treated and attended to. They're losing their ability to ever have children again, right? Because hospital workers are more concerned with bureaucracy than people's lives. So Peter, don't interrupt me as you're talking about abortion rights and you say you support a woman's right to choose. Shut up and listen. As someone who's a mom, as someone who could have died herself, okay? It's time for you to shut up and listen to the women who are telling you loud and clear, we are dying out here. You're putting our lives on the line out here. Women in red states, women in blue states, women all over. It doesn't matter whether we love Trump or we hate Trump. The effect of overturning Roe v. Wade is the same. Our lives are on the line, okay? We don't need to imagine the future. It is here right
You've
now.
made your point.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shut up and listen.
Wow.
Or you
that
need
was
some
good.
man trying to interrupt.
How about the other asshole on that said it doesn't pertain to women over 50? You know, the issue, the
Holy
pro-choice
fuck,
issue.
man.
Yeah, it was another idiot. I don't know which idiot it was. You
I
know,
say
one of
show
them.
that to undecided voters.
Morons.
I don't get the undecided thing just blows me the fuck away. I'm so shocked by it. But I thought that
Not
that clip,
revealing though.
You know, I really
Great
just
clip.
don't know who's better.
How
I don't know
revealing
how there
though.
can be anybody undecided at this moment, but yet there's people that don't even know. I
I
have
think
friends that didn't even know what Project 2025 is, and they're like right wingers. And she's on Facebook going, "Oh, well, maybe I'm behind, but what is this?" So of
It's
course
the thing you're voting for.
I informed her of
That's what Project
everything.
2025 is. The thing right wingers are voting for, whether they realize it
Yeah,
or
well,
not.
this is my
Side
friend
note,
that loves Ted Nugent. So what do you?
oh God help us. I'm sorry, I loved Stranglehold. I just can't enjoy it anymore. The point you said, like the guy that was talking about women over 50, like, well, this doesn't affect them. What an insight to how a Republican thinks. Like, well,
Mhm.
but you'll be okay. So why would you vote for something
Right.
that will make other people okay? You're fine already.
it's so
They just have
Selfish.
no morals.
it's so
Nothing.
crazy. But I'm starting to think undecided. Like there are people out there that say I'm undecided. Okay, but I think for the most part, we're not talking about literally undecided. Last night we saw John from San Antonio was on the show last night. Everyone should go back and watch it. Very informative.
Mhm.
We showed this video from the PBS NewsHour where Dominic Montanaro, who is the head political correspondent at NPR, he was on talking about a poll that they had done recently. And when it got to, he's like, it's a very small percentage of people who are undecided. And he goes, here's who they are. And it turns out they're not undecided. They're considering staying home.
Oh, that's
I
the
don't
worst.
consider that undecided. I think
I
Yeah.
hear you.
they're not, oh, it might be Trump, might be, I don't know who's better. Those aren't undecided. Those are, I don't know if I want to be involved in this shit. Now, there are some undecided, and I don't have this right in front of me, but Siena College and New York Times did a poll. They always do polls together over the weekend in Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina. And in those three states, and they make the point that Harris's fight might be in northern states, not those. So that might not be too big of a deal. But they said that when it comes to the number one issue,
Mhm.
they think Trump is better, and that would be the economy. And then there was another, I know, and then there was another issue, I forget what it was.
Ugh.
But then when it comes to reproductive rights, Harris is better.
Yeah.
But when it comes to democracy, they were split. So they don't know who's going to be better for democracy. Democracy is in that poll because of Trump. It's not what other. Is this how it was with Obama and Romney, where they were like, who do you think
No.
would be better on democracy? No, they're saying democracy now because Donald Trump is anti-democratic.
Yeah.
Right? And so like the whole reason it's on the poll is
Mhm.
because Trump has been saying anti-democratic things, crying elections are rigged and it was stolen when it wasn't, and it can't be proven. And then these fuckers are like, I'm split. Okay. It's
These are
right
some
in
dumb
your face.
motherfuckers. They're not smart.
Undecided it used to be interpreted wrongly. I think it was always wrong. It used to be like, well, I need a little more information. But it's so painfully clear now that that is not what is going on. Undecided means uninformed or misinformed. It certainly doesn't mean, well, I've heard I understand who these people are and I'm on the fence. No, one of them tried to overthrow the country, is currently trying to do it again. They're trying to overthrow democracy. And one of them is just some lady, basically.
Who would be better for oligarchy?
Yeah,
Trump.
it's like you might as well be asking,
Oh Lord.
look, The only reason they're asking you in the poll who would be better on democracy is because Trump is bad on democracy. It's a stupid thing to say. Harris might be bad on democracy. They might as well be saying, what do you think about all the bullshit Trump has said about democracy and anti-democratic shit? Here's some quotes. Like, whoa. But instead, the poll comes across as, let's put democracy on there and see who voters think it's better, because that'll be revealing. It's not revealing. Your poll is stupid. The whole reason
the
that's
poll is
on
not
there.
supposed to inform voters. It's supposed
That's
to
for
gauge.
sure.
It's not, because
But it's
that
giving-
would not be a good poll. It's
But
supposed to
It's
tell us
information.
what
We learned
voters
that these
currently
people
think.
are fucking dumb.
But
That's
if
what
we-
we've learned, is that Americans are fucking stupid.
And so don't you think wording the poll that way gives them the impression that they're both potentially bad on democracy? Or do you think that these voters who are undecided are like voting in terms of they're split, meaning I think she might be good on democracy and I think he might be good? No, that means one of them would be bad on democracy. And
It's
they're
not
giving the
unlike a test.
impression that
Do they
Harris would
understand what
be.
it means?
I think we're not
You know,
being. I mean, our dissatisfaction with this poll is coming from a misunderstanding, I think, of the purpose of the poll. It's not to inform anybody. It is, unfortunately, to find out how uninformed we are in this case. And I mean, Matt's 100% correct. It's a question at all on there because of Trump. And it's revealing to us that people just don't understand that. I'm sure even the people that said Trump's worse for democracy, I'm sure a ton of them, if they're undecided, basically don't understand why. And it's not hard to get, which is what's so frustrating to me. This is not a tricky thing to figure out. The dude that led a coup, he's bad for democracy.
He talks about it.
How have we not heard about it? That's the thing. Like, I just don't understand. Like,
Trump
I
talks about it all
want
the
to
time.
interview these people who just haven't heard about this. January 6th? What is that? What happened?
Project 2025, huh?
Yeah, that
But
was.
they
a-
just
I
they
mean,
haven't
that's-
heard any of this?
Maria did not know at all. I was kind of like taken back because, geez, she was a nurse. I mean, like a master's level. It just stymies me. There's an
My-
old-fashioned word. Stymies me.
This guy was trying to debate me on. It's my right wing neighbor. It's not a straw man. It's a real guy. And if you ever watch the show, he would come right on, and you would all be like, "Oh my god, this is fucking real." He said, and we would get YouTube strikes immediately. But he was saying, "Look, you have to admit, Trump's the better guy. He did everything he said he was going to do." And I was like, first of all, he didn't.
Interesting
Infrastructure,
litmus
healthcare, he didn't do it. But let's say he did. I didn't want him to do the shit that he did. So why would I vote? You're saying vote for the guy who stuck to his guns? I didn't like those guns. I wanted, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they're terrible, terrible guns.
So the logic
Horrible.
that's being used is just like kind of self-satisfying, I think.
There is none.
Well, yeah, if you're
the more
right
I
wing,
talk
you're
to
just
these folks-
dumb. Go on, Jake. I'll just,
I mean, I'm just going to say a wordier version of that. The more I talk to these folks, the more it becomes crystal clear. They have no theory of how politics works or should work. They have no interest in making the world better. They're really just in a scumbag club. That's all it is. It's just a series of excuses for saying mean things and doing cruel things to other folks. And they enjoy that. And I've recently made overtures to try to talk to these folks. I'm trying to pull them out, those that I can, but I don't think I'll be able to. Mostly, I'm just interested in seeing how they broke so that we don't, have another generation break in the same way. And the depressing answer, at least as far as I've seen so far, is that as bad as you're assuming it is accurate. They don't care about they've been convinced that I think they're nihilists, basically, and they're just trying to make sure that the world stays as worse for the people that it's normally worse for in comparison to them as it always has. Or
Well,
worse.
it's going to get worse regardless because of climate and environmental issues and overshoot. So I mean,
Sure.
that's
And
that's
those of them
something
that know that
Yeah, but
wanna be
why
sure.
is that never discussed more than lip service to? Okay, the industrial, the whatever it was, the Build Back Better, or the thing. I mean, nobody's really discussing it, and we're about to we're on the precipice of a gigantic hurricane that's supercharged through the heated oceans, but it's very nobody
I
talks
mean,
about
why is it
like my
only
show
lip
last
service
night.
on the left?
Nobody on every well, the right don't even talk about it. But in my show last night, nobody wants to talk about doom and gloom. But it's not doom and gloom. It's reality of what's happening. But that's not going to be talked about.
Yeah, that's like when people say, I don't do politics, you say politics does you. And they say, I don't do
Yeah.
doom and gloom. And you're like, doom and gloom does you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
People
But-
I
act
don't
like,
do cancer
just-
checks.
Yeah, like
I don't-
reading and like checking in on stuff is like living in fear. You're fearful. Like, yeah, I mean, probably you should be
No.
fearful of the fact that the world's ending. I think. I mean, I don't know.
Well, and
I
that's
think
a
it's a
debate
reasonable
in and
thing.
of itself with ending, because it's not ending. Things are changing. Extinctions are going to happen. They happen. But depending on how bad things get, there will be life on the
I think it's
planet.
going to be ending for most people.
For people, you do think so? You're super doomer. You think
I
most
think
Bring
it's
it
gonna be
on,
less than
man.
1
Pull
billion
the
people.
Band-Aid.
Less than 1 billion people in like
Mhm.
50 years, I think.
Well, I think that will happen too.
I want to surf
Yeah.
a tsunami so bad.
I mean, that would be a hell of a way to go. You
Just
got
be
to
like, I'm on top of the world, Mom.
But what if you surfed and then you did like such a big jump that like the moon pulled you with the water? You know, the moon pulls the water.
I'd
And
be
then you
like,
go
did
into
anyone
outer
know you could
space.
do this? Oh my God.
Yeah. And has anyone tried to surf on a tsunami wave? I don't think
Yes.
so. Have they?
Bodie in damn it.
Point
Oh,
Break.
I ruined the joke because I can't remember the movie.
Point Break.
Tsunami
Right.
wave.
But that's a movie.
They are surfing 100-foot waves in the world. There's a whole show about it called 100-Foot Wave. It is fucking awesome.
All right,
And
I
it's
have
dangerous.
in
I bet.
preparation for a thing I'm going to add to one of my shows here. I have been trying to come up with. I believe that Matt absolutely would be the Herald of Galactus just for the lols. I have an ableist argument to make. Yeah, pro ableist argument.
Well, let me hear it.
I think that left of the box. Hello, Sandy Lowe.
Just in time.
Andy.
I am of the belief that just in time. Enjoy canceling me together. I'm of the belief that we have an obligation to find out what a human being is capable of, and I think that so long as consent is given, we should do like any game somebody thinks up. We should find out who's best at it. Any athletic activity that somebody thinks up, we should find out who's
That's
best
called
at it.
sports.
Exactly that. Boxing, hurdles, fucking pole vaulting, whatever. And I think things like surfing that 100-foot wave should basically we should be petitioning the government regularly to say, will you fund a team of the US best in the world? That's our goal. 100-foot wave surfers, or 150-foot wave surfers, whatever. Acknowledging that it's dangerous, but I just think that we ought to know, and we ought to, as time goes on, we should always be getting better. I hope the football players of the future do things I can't fathom now.
I hope there's no football in the future, quite frankly.
What now?
I hope there's no football in the future.
Well, I agree with that. But would you support taxpayer money funding the surf team?
Yes. Absolutely. That's my ableist argument. I would support it 100%.
Excellent.
The cool thing about surfing 100-foot wave is you need an equally skilled jet skier to take you out there.
It's a glasses.
And then to pick you up.
It's
pretty cool.
Yeah, what if it's a one-way trip?
Oh, yeah. It could be. It's dangerous.
All right. Here we go. Andrea,
Speaking of
what?
dangerous, my
Tell me
eyes are
something.
starting to hurt.
What's the deal with yours anyway? Give us the explanation of Andrea's. What are you?
Oh, it fell on the floor and the lens popped out. I couldn't
Okay.
fit it back in.
Because it looked like what Jake would have needed 2 weeks ago.
I thought it was. I thought she was
No.
making fun of him.
Actually, Jake, tell us.
Oh, it's incidental. Fate is making fun of Jake.
Aw.
Yeah. No,
How
just
did you
that's just
heal your
wrong.
eye? How did you heal your eye, actually?
Oh, it's
How did
going
you heal
better,
it?
but then I went to the doctor and they said, I think there's still a piece of nail in there, and
Oh.
we might have to cut it out with a knife.
Oh, get at it.
Yeah,
That's not real.
that is very real.
Whose nail? Fingernail?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Why don't you just wait for it to just slowly dissolve? Isn't that what happens?
They basically said, come back in a week, and if it's still puffy, I'm going to come in there with a knife.
This has been weeks. Weeks.
I
you've had
know.
this.
I know.
Because you
And you're not going back in?
procrastinated. See,
I
now,
did.
And they cut it open?
No, they haven't yet. I've got to come back next week.
Oh my gosh. We did feel bad. I mean, I felt bad just looking at you. It hurt to look at that, but anyway.
Oh, it's been a lovely couple of months in the old your old pal Jake household. Boy.
Yeah.
Curveballs, man.
One hell of a ball.
I think curveballs is a way of life for
Another
all
corn
of
maze?
us.
Yeah.
Curveballs. We're always catching or trying to catch those curveballs.
Yeah.
I just choose to dodge them.
I just miss them. They miss me. But they're trying all the time. You don't catch them, Andrea. You dodge them. She plays
I pick my
dodgeball.
battles. I know when to fold. I know when to not even try.
Know when to fold it. Okay.
I don't want to
think
get
that
injured.
every single time. That's fair. No shame in that.
My advice, because I had the benefit of a younger brother, and I'm always telling him, I go, yeah, life is supposed to be tough. You're supposed to have obstacles in your way relentlessly. The point is not to get upset by it and let them mount, but to crush them, move past, only so you can get to the next one. It's not like once you get over an obstacle, you're free and clear. No, that's where you get to the next one. And when you realize you're not getting out of this, you will only have obstacles, then you change your mindset into, I am here to defeat obstacles as they arise. And that way, there won't be a wall of obstacles that I can't get over or around. I will just, here's an obstacle, address it, fix it, learn from it, move on. Next obstacle. Same thing, right? This whole idea that we're supposed to be like finding these like comfort zones where we don't have to like worry about obstacles, that's not a thing.
It's never going
always
to be a
gonna
thing.
suck.
This is
I love my
humanity.
comfort zone. I'm comfy.
Well, this is why we have ice cream.
What's your comfort zone, Andrea?
I'm in it right now.
Right now. With us. This is the comfort zone on Wednesday nights.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the comfort zone. Left past
Damn, that's
10.
good.
Whoa! Dave Marvin,
Very
20 bucks. Hey, everyone.
nice.
Been crazy busy the past few weeks watching replays when I have time. I appreciate this channel. Want to give some support. Got to go pick up my son from track meet now and have a great show. Thank you so much for the support and for watching replays.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how huge that is. That is
Dave,
a
that's
big,
wonderful.
big deal. Thank you so much for the
so
20 bucks
sweet.
and the replays.
So people go back and watch
Hang
these?
in there.
And wait a
And-
minute. Tell
I
tell
just
your
hope
son,
people forget about them.
And
tell us
keep
how your
watching the
son
new
did,
ones.
and let him know that his results will be announced to the internet. We're looking forward to the young Martin here. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah, and I think this is like watching replays is my hope, because that's sort of like for speaking for my channel, that's a big deal. Like I have a new playlist for 2024 politics and election stuff specifically. And I'm like, you could watch this in January. It's going to be relevant. You could watch it this time next year. It's going to be fucking relevant. We're talking about stuff that isn't just tonight, today, that's it. We're talking about stuff that has mattered since politics started in this country and will matter more and more going forward. So like for me, every live stream I do isn't meant to be today's live stream where I talk about something very topical and move on. It's today's live stream, which is going to benefit you tomorrow and the next day, right? So like watching the replays is huge. I really love hearing that people do that.
I think on my channel I get more views on the replays. And they are always relevant, and that's why my best ofs are still relevant when I do them. You know, I put them on when I can't. They're relevant. And I hate to say it, and things are worse than when I put those best ofs on, but they're relevant.
You're not wrong.
Nope.
I hate getting indicated.
Indicated. Oh, yeah. Who did that? Who made that comment? They indicated.
So somebody, I don't know if this was Eugene, maybe it was. Somebody asked me to do this before, and I was like, I'll do it live. Zoom me in.
And then you never did it live. Is that correct?
It was like
fraud.
I don't.
A night ago, 2 nights ago.
Fraud. It's a
like
fraudulent
Monday night. I love talking to people about making comics, but editing my own videos, not so much.
Oh.
Yeah. Basically, my philosophy on that is give me something to work with.
Well, you certainly had a lot to work with the Economic Bill of Rights. And
yeah,
I completely like that. And I tell everybody about it and send the link out.
Thank you.
Yeah, because
Harvey
it's
and I are
good.
on to the next one.
Good.
By
Told
the way,
Debbie
I
about
saw
it
the
tonight.
preview for that. Rad.
Yeah. We're making
Yeah.
a comic about what our next comic is going to be about.
I don't know how you guys
ever creative.
go.
Ever creative.
No, it's
Wait a
really
minute.
fun.
You don't know?
What?
You don't already know what your next comic's going to be about? I know you're
No, we
making a
have-
comic about what it's going to be about.
Yeah. We have options.
Oh, okay.
And so it's you'll see. It's
okay.
It makes sense. It's not just us talking, it makes sense to make this. But there was a moment where we were discussing it. You know what? I should just have him on to talk about this.
Yeah.
Can
But
you
there
have
was-
a scene or a panel in the comic where you're on this show talking about the process of writing the comic?
We could do that. Yeah, but there was a moment where I said I suggested a time of year, and he was like, "Oh, absolutely," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And then there was a moment where he said something, and I altered it a little bit in real time, and he was like, "This is exactly the only way to make this is the perfect way to make comics." And I was like, "With you and I, yes. With anybody else, I don't think so." Because I like literally share my screen, and he's telling me what to do, what the comic should be, and I'm like making panels and putting word balloons on there and typing out dialogue and moving things around. And it is not the preferred method.
No.
But with Harvey, it is like for some reason between he and I, it really, really works. And I think it's because we're like good friends.
You got to record some of
That's
these
terrific.
for future behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm going to see Harvey. I'm going to meet him.
In Brooklyn?
Yeah. Because I'm getting there the day before election day, and he's going to be there.
I would love to go, but I'm going to work it.
Good for you, Sandy. Good
Yeah.
for you.
No,
Yeah, good for you.
it pays too.
Matt, I would love it, by the way, if you guys would point to some of the folks in one of your upcoming comics, some of the folks who are standing in the way of the new Economic Bill of Rights. Just full on being like, these motherfuckers specifically, these are the problem.
Yeah, we
Here's a
covered.
Democrat, here's a Republican.
We showed the rise of neoliberalism. There was a yacht called the Free Market. I don't know if anybody picked that up. The name of the yacht was the Free Market. Kind of small, but I tucked that in there. But like
Nice.
we have
Very creative.
yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying is like any one of the pages in the comic that he and I did at commondreams.org, we can make like a whole chapter out of one page. And so if it's an 11-page comic, it could suddenly be, each page could be times 6, 8, 12. We can make a huge comic.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, you
So-
build up to it over time.
And I mean, I could just bang it out too. I mean, the way
Great
we work
question.
together is so
It
smooth.
hurts.
Yeah, what are you doing for it? Are you taking B12 complex?
I'm going to have to go to physical therapy. I am already on good stuff. I don't have to take anything extra. I just have to heal it all over again. But this time I am going to go to physical therapy and get a little bit more shoulder on help.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I hate driving. I hate going anywhere, but I'm going to.
Mm.
We'll see
I'm
where
sorry,
it
man.
goes.
Hopefully they'll give you like exercises you can do at home and you don't have to constantly be there.
Right.
One
I
hope.
had them, but this time I need guidance because
Mm.
I had fixed myself, but this last little trip that I went on, which wasn't so little, really knocked it back right out.
Mm.
So, hey, shit happens. Where's she going? Where are you going, Andrea?
I'm using the bathroom.
Bathroom break, but we're not looking. Can we hear it?
Jesus.
Some people's mics are that sensitive.
I'm mercifully with this microphone. I'm just so glad Shure invented this. It picks
Pretty
up
sure, I know.
like out to here, and that's it.
I really want to do something too, but you already did pretty sure. So, I mean,
You
I
can do
could put
Surefire.
or fairly sure.
Yeah, or Surefire. I feel like that's very
Surefire.
your personality.
And he's got that sure enough. Yeah, that we did this already. I
Absolutely.
thought that was really cute.
Sure
All right,
thing.
I'm going to ask the chat in my chat, what could I put there? Or should I cover it totally and put something funny there?
You could just do sure, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Sure, yeah. Not sure. Oh, Groove Dragon, not sure. That's good. I like that. Mm-hmm.
I might,
We're all
if I
always
can get
not
enough
sure.
orange makeup, dress up like the Thing this Halloween and put Sure Thing there. A little gag.
That's a lot of makeup.
It's a lot of makeup. It would kind of be funny to half-ass it though, and like just literally tape rocks to my head and chin.
Yeah.
Nobody would get what I am though.
Like a real bad version? That'd be funny
Yeah.
as shit.
Dude, one of my favorite internet people that's not related to the left, all he does is like $0 cosplay. So he'll dress up like I'm trying to think of somebody we'd all know, like Dick Tracy. That's too easy. He'll dress up like Dick Tracy, and he'll put on like a somewhat resembling a detective's cat hat and a bathrobe, and then just strike a pose. Or he'll dress up like the Hulk, and it's just like slaps green face paint on his face, and that's the whole thing. I fucking love this guy.
You must have a
Morbius,
lot of
right.
time on your hands.
It
I
reminds
just
me,
like seeing the competition,
cool.
basically.
kind
Yeah.
of reminds me of
Yeah, I could
the-
see that in you.
the dad
Like
that
that.
mimics his daughter's Instagram post.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like
By the
posing
way,
in
I
the
would love-
bathroom and shit.
I would
don't know.
effing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I have nothing to offer.
Sounds like the description of my channel sometimes. I would love to have a right winger on here, and instead of like, basically we chase him off. We can't actually do this because it would be bad, but it would be amazing just to be like, instead, like, we go casual, but casual doesn't mean that we change who we are. It just means we casually are like, so why are you, the devil? Basically.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be good.
There was
Because I don't believe anybody's the devil. I believe people are definitely influenced, and their brains are played with, but nobody's inherently horribly evil. I don't think.
I disagree.
I don't know, but I guess it depends.
But
I
for the
think
record,
you're
I was
different.
18.
I'm with
Once you
people
have enough
tonight.
money, you're different.
All right, I'm talking about the rank and file, like tonight, farmer dinner. I know they're conservatives. Everybody was lovely. Everybody was nice. I'm talking about us, normal people, the people.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I couldn't. Who knows who they supported, but you can't look at them and say, well, you can't do that paintbrush thing with everybody, because down here in the real world, it's not always about the split in all this division. It's just not.
Just for the record,
that's not talked about enough.
Seriously think we should have a right winger on this show, because we would all be infuriated. But I think it's a funny concept, not for us to actually do. Just the idea of people casually, like, one of those shows where, like, we just let our hair down, we're not talking politics, but then it's just like, so not politically speaking, when did you lose your soul? Did you sell it, or did it just evaporate? Like, just really mean-spirited. It's just a funny idea to me. Not to do, just to think about.
I would love to do a show where we just abuse Trump supporters for possibly hours. I'm totally in.
There was a caller to the Majority Report on Friday who was a Republican, and he's like, I love this show. I don't vote the way you do, and I went in. I activated and did everything I could. I had moderators on Twitch trying to get him to email me. I was like, come on the show, come on the show.
Right.
And he didn't respond to any of it, but I was everywhere. Discord, Twitch.
You want to talk about
YouTube?
Two people staring at the same moon. When that caller was on, the first thought in my head was, oh, if I generated enough money to make this worth his time, I would beg Matt to go try to contact that guy. And then I was thinking, like, I wonder if I could try to contact that guy. And I didn't even try because I knew that I couldn't. But it's just so funny. I thought that exact same thing. Like, what an interesting person. How do you get to this place? I want to talk to that guy. What went wrong in your life that you enjoy?
I wrote the interview because I knew. I was like, what if he contacts me right before I go live? I want to be ready. So I just was like, let me write this interview. He was a vet, so I was going to start off by saying, look, I don't debate, man. Okay. Just want to like increase my own understanding here, and maybe we could talk about some stuff. So I was going to start off by talking about, why do you like the Majority Report? I like it because it's toned down, it's calmer, sometimes it's boring, it's just an interview show, you know what I mean? They're asking journalists to talk instead of write, and that's not what they do. So and I was going to go into talking about, because he was in the military, I was going to just be like, do you have any regrets from that, or did it like influence your politics in any way, having served and been in a war zone? And then I was going to say, do you think the Democrats have done enough for vets? And what have Republicans done that are for vets that are better than what the Democrats have done? Because I personally don't think anyone's done enough. And, we could talk about that, right? And look, we're not debating politics here, right? So I'm not being strategic. I was trying to be cool about it.
The only service that Republicans do is lip service.
Yeah. And so then I was going to just, and if this guy had valid things to say, okay, but that'd be enlightening. But if not, then I'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm calling you on that. We can expose that lie right now. But like, I was going to say, do you feel in any way that you are voting against your own best interest? Right. And I feel that, because I do to a degree, and I'm not voting Republican. So we can kind of agree on this stuff. Right. But like, I feel
that's so huge, though, because you show them in the course of the conversation that the conversation doesn't end with them taking an L.
Yeah, it's okay to talk about this.
Like, and it's okay to admit if you're like, okay, wow, you've shown me the facts. I haven't been voting in my own best interest. I'm really going to think about this. Like, you can just say that. Like, you don't have to, because you voted for Republican. It doesn't mean that admitting they're bad for you, not even morally, but like functionally bad for you, doesn't mean that like the conversation ends with you going, ha ha ha, we got him, get him out of here.
See, Democrats are better. Yeah, Democrats rule. You know, I'm not fucking doing that. Like, I hate this shit. So, you know,
we
and
need to clip that right there. Andrea's genuine glee at how ridiculous a notion it is that we would even like. I wouldn't even sit down and eat a meal with Nancy Pelosi. Maybe out of interest to see like if she
paid for it,
tastes
I would.
things. But like, it just yes, that's very useful.
Democrats
Like,
rule.
we
God,
don't like these
I like I said last show, I dreamed that we would have many parties and you know, publicly funded 2-month campaigns, no corporations buying people, you know, politicians, winner takes all, whatever it is, you know, how
Yes.
I just that would be that's hopium for me.
Yeah, I mean, and don't you
Hardcore.
think it would be great to talk to somebody like this one caller and get down to like, look, man, I think you're voting against your own interest. Is that because you're voting to suppress somebody else's like opportunity? You know what I mean? Whether out of like xenophobia or the idea that we should not have like a level of equity or basic human rights to you are a privilege and not rights. You know what I mean? Like healthcare. Like, can we talk about that? Because that would be very enlightening to me as well. But like, then I was going to say I'm about to turn 50. And I've been watching Donald Trump since the 80s.
Oh,
and that's plenty of fucking time
it is
to identify a huckster and a grifter.
Yeah.
And that's plenty of time to tell that somebody, there's no question that he is a racist. Like I'm not just some kid saying, oh yeah, I heard about Donald Trump in 2016 and everyone says he's a racist. I guess he is. No, I'm fucking, that guy is definitely, I've been, since I was a little kid, I know
He
it. So
proposed
anyway,
racist policies. He tried to ban a whole religion. He's certainly bigoted. If you want to go a step broader, like they're
yeah,
and they know he is.
His name
After
gives
they're
me
eating
a
the dogs,
headache.
it's undeniable.
so then at
So
some
the
point
question is, do they like the racism, or are they willing to
Yes.
accept the racism in exchange for
A
something?
lot of them, a lot
Right.
of people do, and
I think it's both.
they probably come. It's probably generational. You know, it's generational, and I don't know how to end that. You know, I don't know how anybody can do this without changing everything in
So
this
that's when
country.
I was going to segue right into, is it worth trying to win over Republican voters? Is it worth trying
Oh,
to
God.
have this conversation with this guy, though? I want to hear what he
Oh,
has
that
to say.
Yeah.
The
That'd be
only
fascinating.
value is one, the entertainment value just of doing it, and two, learning more about the psychology of stupid people.
Yeah, that's what Dude does on his channel. The debate guy, DOODE. He just has these people and he debates them and tries to show them the way or whatever.
Oh, I don't think he does. I like
he
Dude
doesn't-
a lot. In fact, you and I have talked about, like, I watch
Depends on
this
who
guy
they
a lot.
are. Yeah.
What he does, I think, is designed for a leftist audience, and basically
course it is.
what he's trying to do. Well, I mean, let me put it like this: the persuasive points he's making are not actually meant to even try to persuade. What he's trying to do is get a big dunk moment on these people so he can illustrate for a leftist audience how far their arguments go. The reason I always insist on clarifying that is because I don't want lefties to see him and think, oh, this is how I should talk to my crazy uncle.
Oh, absolutely. No, but
No
I
way.
have seen him talk to a couple of people where he made some inroads with them, and they actually had to step back while you visualize them stepping back and thinking, oh, it had, you know, not that I watch every show. I mean, this guy's on every night, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
have seen that, although you are 100% in your assessment. That is
Sandy,
not
you and I got to talk to this guy. I'll try to get it, or we can try to get him on here. Whatever. We got to talk to him because you and I are both fascinated by him, and I'm desperate to show these two this guy.
I'm in.
We got it.
It's just,
Well,
but
I
I
was
can't
gonna-
do it every night. I don't know how anybody could watch him every night.
I was
I don't
really
know how
gonna
he does
try
it every
to
night.
Now, I wanted to have like a genuine conversation with this guy and let him do talking so that I could hear it and analyze it. But like, my hope is that it would end. Like, where I draw the line is the election was not stolen. It's not like it's Donald Trump versus everyone and they all came together to fix it against him. It's too convenient, right? It's bullshit. There's two people. One of them's going to be the loser, right? So like, just wanted to ask if he can justify it and if he's like those guys who testified against Trump in the J6 hearings that were like, would you still vote for him? Oh yeah. It's like you just testified against him. Who do you think is better for democracy? Oh, I'm fucking split.
Could go either way, dude.
In that debate show that it really Andrea and I ended up doing together, but the debate show, I did a thing which I think I offer to you because I think it helps so much, which is after you make a point, you ask the other person to summarize what they just heard back to you. And you try to do the same for whatever insane thing they say. And the important thing is you don't comment on it while you're summarizing it. Like, well, you believe wrongly that blah, blah, blah. You just say like, so you're saying because X, then Y. It's just, it sobers the conversation up like that. It's an amazing technique.
I personally
and I
don't
know
want
it's
to
amazing
debate
because I forgot to
anybody.
do it a bunch. What now?
I don't want to debate anybody.
Oh, but you would shred somebody on a climate debate if they're
Oh my
like, it's
God,
just
yes.
weather.
Yeah, I probably would. That way.
Snowing outside right now.
A denier, I have shredded that. Absolutely.
Sometimes it rains. What?
But not trying to make them feel bad. I just have a more of an educational bent, which that's
I mean, it's so
right up my
easy
alley.
to point out that they're using fossil fuel company talking points.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Facts.
hello.
Boom.
Like, that's not your original thought, buddy. Sorry.
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, so I have another question. Why is the chat relentlessly talking about wearing muumuus? When did this start? I've been seeing this
about wearing muumuus. I haven't seen
a
it.
lot of people.
Oh,
I've been
okay.
seeing this often
is a
lately.
muumuu?
It's
Muumuu.
a big, oversized mama cast dress,
Yeah, like a
a house dress.
typically a gaudy print of some sort. It's
like Divine. Remember Divine?
Yeah, from John
Divine.
Waters.
Yes, she used to wear muumuus.
A muumuu is like a house
Yeah.
dress. It's for
Okay, so
it's shapeless.
who's Oh, are we muumuus tonight? Are we shapeless?
I don't know. Donald James X said he's gonna wear one next time he goes live.
Oh, really?
Soul
And play the
Life has been
guitar?
talking about muumuus a lot. I've seen it in other chats, I think.
Still
Okay.
am not convinced I know what it is.
Is something trending on Twitter? Muumuus? I mean, is it something happening out there? Big muumuus?
Is that what the kids are doing?
I have no clue. I haven't hardly been online today, except this morning.
I mean, they can be cool.
There was great
but
grammar.
I just looked it up and none of these are muumuus. These are not accurate.
I pass muumuus all the time.
I like muumuus.
Okay, that was good.
Cute
You know, just real quick touching on Donald James X, I have to say it out loud or it won't leave my brain because I've been thinking about this for like a week. Donald James, the new beard style where it's longer and forked, rad as hell. That was a cool look. And you guys know how often I'll be like, oh, I love that, whatever. Apparently, I'm unable to stop myself if I love a fashion thing. I saw a guy on the way to the laundromat. He had a hat, like a old-timey detective hat on, and it was cocked slightly. And I had to just stop and be like, oh, yes. Yes, sir.
What did they say in response?
I said, specifically what I said was, I know I don't look it right now, but I'm a gentleman who appreciates style, and you're killing it. And
Really?
he thanked me and said, you too. And I said, that was a gracious lie.
Do you shop at Goodwills
What?
and things and look for these kind of clothes? You know, these things?
Yes.
Yeah,
Specifically,
'cause
I go funky
yeah.
clothes hunting. I love it.
And bet all of them. Yeah.
And I'll
Cool.
tell you, just good old fashioned J.C. Penney, man. They have
Yeah,
good,
but you don't
cheap
want to
ass
buy
suits.
new things. That's fast
They
fashion
still
polluting the
around?
world.
I
I
knew
buy what looks good.
I worked with a lady
I
who
don't
worked.
buy. I get given hand me downs.
I worked with a
This one's
lady who
given to me.
worked at J.C. Penney corporate, right? The main office, and she said it was so cool because they just converted a shopping mall. So like you would go up an escalator and there'd be like desks.
Oh, that's cool.
And she said they still had like, a fountain with plants where you could sit down.
Oh,
and I was like, that's fucking awesome. I was like, what'd you do with all the stores? And she was like, those were like different fitting rooms and like different departments. I was like, oh my God, it's so cool.
that's my dream for Wicked. One day I want this venture to be big enough that it's worth having a studio, but that studio will be an old fill in the blank. I don't know if it'll be an old gym, an old like
been
elementary
there.
school, like
Done one of those.
Brownstone.
church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiplex cinema.
That's cool. Church.
Oh,
I was in a marketing
Well, yeah.
firm and they were in an old theater and I was like, this looks like a movie theater. And they're like, it was. And then you go in there and you're like, still like the hallways kind of go up. It's really cool.
oh, I love it.
Yeah, I thought
love
it was fun.
Yeah.
Andrea, movie theater is like where people go to sit in a crowd or an audience and watch the movie on a large wall where
Right.
they have like a screen.
And what's a screen?
It's something you project an image onto so that everyone can see it. Think of TV or a
Okay,
computer
I
monitor,
know
which is
about
in front of you
TV.
now.
I've
Yeah.
seen a TV. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I would love to live in a movie theater though, because it
I
just
mean,
seems cool.
it's pretty cool. I worked beneath a robot testing facility
Oh,
and we didn't know what it was. This was in Boulder, Colorado. And I was like, what the? They're
Uh-oh.
fucking roller skating up there. What are they doing? Because it was like, and I was like, what are they doing? So I just was like, I'm going up there. And
yeah.
I went
You
up
gotta
there and was
see.
like, I said, hey, I work right under you. And they were like, oh, sorry. I was like, no, it's cool. Can I just see what I'm hearing? And they had a hardwood
most human
floor, like kind of rampy, right? Where they had toy robots rolling around. I was like, this is what I imagined. This is so
That's
cool.
amazing.
I can't believe this is really here. There was another time where right outside, because when I worked from home, my window looked at a garage at the next house and they've converted it into an Airbnb. And so one day I could hear just like some kind of bird in there. And it was like, I was like, this is really I need a degree of quiet for my work. And it was like, this is tough. So my wife was like, how are you dealing with this? And I was like, you know what? I got to go over there and meet the bird. Then when we're friends, I'll be so much more tolerant. It won't affect me this way. So I went over there and met the
great
bird.
idea.
I'm sure I have a picture of it somewhere, but I went over there and met the bird and was like, oh man, I love this bird. And they said, and sorry, when I go to work, it gets sad.
Oh,
And so I was like,
oh,
oh, is there any way I can help? And she was like, I bet if you stood outside the door and said its name, it would feel comforted. And so I was like, stand outside the door. My window's right there. That's my office. So I would just open the window, forget the bird's name, but I would just go, it's okay, blah, blah. And it would stop.
Did you flip
oh
it
my
the bird?
God.
No.
That's
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Emma,
Holy
that's
shit.
amazing.
Yeah, it was
You know
really
that's got to
cool.
make it into a story. That's too
Yeah.
much of a.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't know.
man.
Some things you just want to be real, you know?
But it is.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, right.
It keeps it sacred, so to speak.
That bird was cool. As soon as I met it, I was like, oh yeah. No, this is cool. I'm looking for the picture right now. I know I
Okay.
got one. There's no way I don't have this picture, but I just put too much shit on Instagram. Talk
I don't
amongst
put
yourselves.
anything on anything. I am the
You're-
worst YouTuber. I don't put anything on anything. I hardly ever make shorts. I don't do anything.
Are you worse than me?
I'm lazy. Well, no, I don't have time and it hurts to sit for a long time. And I have 40 million other things to do here. I have the next big job with a bad shoulder is cleaning up 7 garden beds, and I still have things to harvest.
Ugh.
And that's going to be
And just be
a lot
careful.
of work. Yeah, I got to work one because I can't afford to hire anybody. I have to really just do it. And I will. One row at a time.
At some point in October, we on one of these streams we should carve pumpkins, shoulder health permitting. But I love the idea of
Carve
us all,
pumpkins?
while we're talking, like sitting here
And
scooping out
carving.
the guts and
It
carve
would
a
be a
jack-o'-lantern.
mess in this. I don't know if I could do it on my table.
I'd have to do that
Although I have-
outside.
Yeah, that's like. I
Fair
mean,
enough.
I like the idea if we, or how would we do that? Record ourselves doing it. Somebody put it all together and make a video of that way.
We're just playing that as we chat on the sidebar or something. I do like that, actually. That could work.
Yeah.
We could do a contest where we do it individually and then compare and let chat decide.
Yo, I'm a hardcore
That's a
jack-o'-lantern
Halloween
carver.
thing. Cool. I'm not.
Oh, really?
I like to just draw on them.
I've
But I
only
would
done
do
it
it.
like
There's its
twice.
own
I
charm
would
to
do
that.
this for you, Jake.
Yes.
And everybody's got pumpkins for sale here at Nine Growing. So yeah. Okay. So I guess we got
I'm
that.
excited.
Post a poll. Donald said post a poll. Should we do the pumpkin carving show?
I can't let my
Or-
friends go on thinking I'm in or suspecting I'm intelligent. What?
Oh, there's the bird.
He landed on your
Wow.
shoulder.
It's
Wow.
333 weeks ago.
Yeah. That's, I went way back. This is
What?
2018 May.
He's got a little cheeky smile too. I love it. Oh, a little cutie pie.
I love that bird, man. It was
That's
cool.
cute.
They didn't stay there. They stayed there for like a month, I guess.
That's cute, man. That's great. I haven't shared anything with you guys tonight. No pictures. I'm not in the mood. Although I probably have something.
I have actually, I got to go back through my old school Instagram more. Check this out. This is me walking into the Met. Into the,
Oh.
the section, or
Who took this photo?
my wife. This is
Aw.
the suits of armor area. They have actual suits
Oh,
of armor in
God.
there, Jake. You would dig that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was fun.
That looked like a poster for a movie about hacking in the early 2000s.
Topical. That's appropriate. Yeah, no, it's just 2018. Actually, that might have been a little earlier. I might have reposted that, but man, I just scrolled through COVID pandemic lockdowns. You know what I mean? Like I was scrolling through my Instagram and I was
Yeah.
like, whoa. Oh, I remember that. Oh shit. That was my life flashed before my
Oh shit.
I
I
don't
will
like
never
scrolling through my
forget
history.
having the radio station manager come in and be like, it was like the first like when COVID was first something people were aware of, and they were like, you might want to prepare yourself because looks like this could be a couple of weeks. Just we didn't realize how optimistic we were being.
Right.
Jesus.
Aiden. That was a bird's name, Aiden.
Aiden.
Says it right there in the caption. I said, "Meet my new neighbor, Aiden. You're already
Aiden the
fantastic
bird.
friends."
You think Aiden's still alive?
Oh yeah.
A parrot? Yeah. Absolutely.
Excellent. Excellent.
There was
All right. I put a picture in Discord for Andrea.
there is a podcast called Heavyweight. Now I love this podcast, and they did them less and less
I
in
like
recent
those.
years. But what they do is you write them. Anyone can write them and go, "Here's my heavyweight. This is what I'm carrying around."
Up there's the skeleton.
And there was one where these two twin brothers who are, I think they're both like in their 60s now. They had a brother, a younger brother who died, but he had a parrot. and they've been carrying around this weight that they didn't take care of the parrot. They didn't take the parrot after he died or whatever, and they were worried about it. And so they wrote in this podcast and said, "Can you connect us somehow? Can you help us find this parrot?" Do you want me to just spoil it for you?
Yes, don't leave me with this.
Okay.
Yes.
So they totally find they're like, this is probably the parrot. It lives in a sanctuary. It has a mate.
Oh.
And they went in there and it wasn't really paying attention to them. And it was many, like, I don't know, a lot of years had gone by, a long time, 20 years or something. And they were like, we think that's it. And then they went back to, like, so, the podcast guy, the person who runs the sanctuary, and these twin brothers are walking around looking at the parrot. And then they kind of like wander around. They're like, let's leave them alone. Let's not hang out in here too much. Let's go look at the rest of the sanctuary. And the two brothers go back and they talk to the parrot, and they're like trying to get it because it used to say their brother's name, and they think it said it. And then it was like, they did like a poll where they were like, did it say the brother's name? And like, everyone's like, fuck yes, it did. That was awesome. So they found the parrot. It was doing well. It had like a wife, and
it had like a wife.
Yeah, it was.
That's amazing.
Living in this sick sanctuary out in California. And
Good.
anyway, yeah, it just turned out to be like, that's why I was like, oh shit, these birds live a long time.
Damn.
Yeah.
I sent you another one, Andrea.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Back to an earlier conversation about the skeleton.
God,
Driving
COVID.
around with the skeleton.
Yeah, it was in the back of the car.
That was so brutal, man. Because I had just gone back to an office job by choice. I was like, oh, I got to get out of the house. I need to be around people.
Right.
And as a graphic designer, it's a field where you should work with people so that you can keep learning new techniques. Because it's always evolving. And I was like, I'm probably missing out at this point. Turns out I wasn't. But, I just wanted to be around people. It was like 3 months in, man. Maybe two and a half. And they were like, hey, we all got to go home. And then they were like, we're not bringing you back to the office. But silver lining, working from home is when I started to watch Above It All every single morning.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I ever saw Environmental Coffee House name in a chat.
Yeah.
And I watched.
I was an Andrea groupie.
Had shows on, fucking all day and night, and that's when it was like.
Yeah, baby. Silver Lining was my CB handle.
Oh, that's awesome. Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, good porn name.
It's just cool that you had a CB handle.
Lining. Well, my first ex-husband was a trucker. And so he put a CB in my vehicle, and he had a CB, and they would be, how about your Silver Lining? How goofy. Then my kid was
love it.
Yeah, that was my name.
We used to prank call. I just got a weather alert, Sandy thunderstorms. So we
at your house. Okay.
Yeah, we just got, and I've lost power like 3 times in the last 48 hours, and that's not from weather. I don't know why that is.
That's
but
no fuck.
My buddy growing up, his dad had a CB. He was a courier. He would deliver shit. And he had a CB radio in his car. And we would drive around at night, like to go to the mall and whatever, it's the early 90s.
Right.
And every now and then somebody would be like, I'm just making this up. They'd be like 6:30. Right. And I don't know what that is. And there's just people talking randomly.
Yeah.
And
like
so
some code or whatever for a thing.
So one night I picked it up and said 1085 and just put it back down. and somebody said, come back. And we were dickheads. We used to prank call radio DJs a lot. Like we were dickheads.
Say it, but you had fun, right?
I picked it right up and was like 581. And then just saying random shit. And it was like stay off the line. And I was like, you got it. You know, or something. I was like, okay.
Like it's
And they were
still
like,
part of
stay
the
off the
official
line.
conversation.
Yeah.
Roger.
Roger
We didn't
that.
do shit to make ourselves laugh.
Roger that. Well,
Oh
It's-
God, that's delightful.
self-entertainment.
Man,
Keeping
we
it
used
real, man.
We used to prank call people so much. It was so fucked up.
Oh
Did
no,
you
prank
record them?
calls.
It's
Did
not
you
that
ever
Or-
record them?
No. This
They're a
how?
beloved tradition.
Yeah, I guess the old-fashioned way would be to put an old little
Yeah.
recorder up by the phone. I don't know.
There was a sports talk radio DJ in Maryland who really, he was a big Orioles fan, but he hated the fact that this one player, he thought it was nepotism that he was on the team, and he was
Oh,
always
yeah?
talking shit about him. So I called in and said, "Yeah, I want to talk to you about Bill Ripken." And he's like, "Okay." And I was like, "Yeah, I think he's a pretty good player. Why don't you like him?" And he goes, "I don't think he's very good." And I said, "I think he's real good." No, just being like a dick. Like I had no.
A foil. Yeah.
I was just like, "Yeah, I think he's really good." And my buddy started laughing in the background. He goes, "Okay, yeah, you have fun with your buddy laughing there in the background. We'll talk to you some other time." And I was like, "No, you won't." And then he hung up.
But did that get on air?
It was on air, yeah,
Oh,
because
shit,
my
that's
buddy was
funny.
laughing because he was listening to the radio in the other room, like across the fucking house.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, that's funny.
that DJ missed out on a golden opportunity. It's a good thing when an audience member calls in specifically to be a foil for an opinion they know you have. That's a gift
foil.
that he turned down because he didn't have the maturity to accept it.
Yeah, he was crotchety. His name was Stan the Fan.
Oh well, there you go.
Wow.
God, his name was that literally Stan.
Yeah.
Stan the
Prescient.
Fan.
Mm.
Oh god. That's funny.
Yeah, but we used to prank call. Like I did some messed up ones. I used to be
Oh,
able to
prank
do an
call radio.
impression of a guy, and I could call his dad and trick him.
Oh, that's delightful.
Yeah, I could do an
That's a
impression of this
dangerous
kid.
superpower.
I could do an impression of this kid that was so good I could trick his own dad.
Oh, and get him in trouble
Yeah.
though? Did you get the kid in
No.
trouble? Oh, okay.
No, just
It's kind of a Cartman and Butters setup.
Look at Matt. All the memory lane is
the
rushing,
impression is
rushing
like
out.
the impression is not.
Yeah, 50.
Flattering.
Well, he just
Okay.
said certain words a certain way, and it was easy to mimic it. And so, he would be like in his room doing homework, and I would be like, I would basically essentially just like ask for a ride, say I need a ride, and he would be like, "Aren't you upstairs in your room?" But I'd say,
That's
"No, I'm
funny.
at."
That is funny.
Your voice. Come
That's
on, come
funny
on.
shit.
We almost got it. Come
I
on.
can't
No,
do
you're
it.
not
It's
gonna
too
do
I
it.
can
messed up.
see.
Come
It's
on.
on the
That,
tip of
that's
his
pretty
tongue.
funny. It's making me laugh. So
You got it.
As an adult
You gotta
for
do it.
whom
Yeah.
an extra errand would be infuriating, I can say that's some
Yeah.
dark magic that you were pulling right there.
I'll do
Aren't
it. I'll
you
do
up
it
in
for you
your
offline
room?
sometime. But
Aren't you?
Okay.
And did the dad ever like leave to go pick up the kid?
I don't think so.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, thank God.
Because that would always end it with like, swearing at him or something. You'd be like, "Who is it?" But there was one time.
How old
There
were
was.
you?
Oh,
Oh,
7th,
40?
8th grade.
Oh.
No, you can't. Everyone knows your number now. You can't pull that shit. But
Everyone, they know your number, bud.
it was what was there was like a hotline we would call. Which fucked up. And I would
I used to
just I would call him in the middle of the night. It wasn't like a suicide hotline or something.
Oh, God,
we
I hope not.
we were messed up suburban white kids. You know what I mean? Like we were just entitled little dickheads.
Oh,
Even if we weren't like well off or anything, we had a lot of
yeah,
privilege.
sure.
And I would just call and leave lengthy messages.
Oh,
Because
man.
if you call in the middle of the night, you get the answering machine. It was just somebody's house. This is how I found out.
You're a bad
So
boy.
I would just call and do like, yeah. So, calling because, and I would just go off until it beeped, right? And then I would call back and keep talking.
Oh no.
And I thought for sure it was like an office and nobody was listening. And one time somebody picked up and said, "Hey, this is my home phone. Sorry. Like I'm just sitting here listening to this." And I was just like, "Oh shit."
How in the world did you not end up with a whole body full of tattoos and a Harley?
He's got some.
And in a bike club doing
We would
all your
call
bad stuff.
we would watch
Later on.
Nickelodeon at night, and they had on shows like what was the show where it was called "You Can't Do That on Television"? Do you remember this?
No.
And
I
they
know
would
the premise
kid
of the show,
watched
but I
it.
never watched it.
they would have like a secret word where you would have slime fall on you. It was crazy, but they would sell shit, and you could call in and say, "Get your credit card ready now," and call in and get the merchandise. So we would call in, and I would just say. I'd say, "Yeah, I want to get the blah blah blah," and they're like, "Okay, sure. What's your credit card?" And I would just go, 5433278, and they're like, "Okay, what's the rest of it?" And I was like, "Oh,
Not enough numbers.
is there a certain number of numbers?" No idea what I was doing. It was so stupid. So then
Oh yeah.
it was just fun to call
You're making
back.
us laugh.
It was just fun to call back and not know how to do a prank call. Like that became the prank, was like we're bad prank callers. Like
That's
that was
pretty
our
good.
shtick. I thought that
Yeah.
was another level.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Anyway,
When I was wee, I used to a group of my friends and I literally don't even remember how old we were, either elementary school or early middle school. But
Is this an elaborate setup that
no,
like you were like
it's just
part of
setting you up for the
multiple
maturity
being
level
type
that
thing?
we're preparing for.
Because you said when you were wee, as in
It
multiple.
was a wee one. That was when I was
Oh, right.
a wee barn.
wee nipper.
A what
A nipper, as in you're nipping at heels. You're a puppy.
Little nipper.
Yep. My friends and I don't know why we thought this was so funny. Moose on the show was my first crush. I gotta look.
You remember her?
No. I'll look her up. I don't know why we thought this was so funny, but we did think it was hilarious, and we thought like you could call in and request a song from a local radio station, and we would, and we were in an area where there was no crime to speak of. There was certainly no ne'er-do-wells wandering the streets in large packs, and yet we would say like, "Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to the whole posse," and we called in so much and kept crediting this fictitious. Like, I don't know if it was supposed to be a gang or like
This
the
is good.
Illuminati or what.
This is good.
But we did it so much that the DJ stopped the call at one point, and he's like, "Who the hell is the posse? What is the posse? What is going on my show that every night I'm getting like like he got genuinely annoyed that like the premise wasn't clear, and we just lost our damn minds." Yeah, he wasn't even mad about the pranking. He was just angry that the premise was unclear. And like like clearly this is a guy clocking in, and the worst part about his day was these stupid kids. I feel bad about that. But it did make us laugh.
No,
I'm laughing. I've been laughing now for the last 15 minutes, having a ball here listening to these prank calls.
Surely
yeah,
you guys.
We used to do it too, but for me the key is I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember at all?
I don't remember.
Well,
I mean,
we were friends with a this guy that worked at our favorite neighborhood Chinese restaurant, and we would go in there, and the cigarette machine was this old cigarette machine that you had to pull, that it was like ch-ch-kunk, and then the cigarettes would fall out, and so we had to do it like it was super loud, but we would like sneak in there because we were underage. We'd sneak in there, and it was important to have somebody distract the guy at the counter, and then somebody else would go behind the curtain where they kept this real classy joint where they kept cigarette machine behind like a red curtain, and so you could sneak back there.
Really classy.
So one thing I would do is I was like, we just need to make friends with this dude. That's all. I'm not going to go in there and distract him because he's going to catch on. We just have to be cool with him. So when he sees us, he wants to talk. And I was
Yeah.
like, and he seems like a nice
Yeah,
guy.
you-
It's like a family run place. Like, let's not hassle the guy. And we like this place. So we would eat there. And he would always tell us that lo mein was like Chinese spaghetti, right? And all that stuff. And we were like, can we have Chinese spaghetti? And, you know, just have fun. And so then I did one day, I was like, you know what? We should prank call him and see if he knows it's us.
Oh no.
So like the next time we go in there, we reveal the prank. And so we thought about it and I was like, I got it. I'm gonna, because one time one of our friends ordered a hamburger and they're like, we don't have hamburgers. So I called him and said, hi, yeah, I want to make an order for pickup. And he was like, okay, what would you like? I said, I want, do you have all beef hot dogs? And he was like, no, we don't have all beef hot dogs. And I said, okay, I will have 6 all beef hot dogs, 3 hamburgers, and 3 sides of French
He said
fries
no.
with ketchup. And he's like, we don't have that. And I was like, okay, I'll have 4 all beef hot dogs. And I was like, how many all beef hot dogs do you have? And then he was being, and I was like, do you have onion rings or
Poor
anything
guy.
like that? And, you know, it was like,
How many
obvious,
all
like,
beef
call
hot dogs
McDonald's,
do you
asshole.
have? Do you have 2
Right.
all beef hot dogs?
Yeah, it's like, if you don't have hamburgers, do you have Big Macs? And, you know, so we were just being like, or I was just being like horrible. And then the next time we were in there, he said, okay, what do you want? And I was like, well, I can't decide between Chinese spaghetti and all beef hot dogs. And he was like, he knew. And so then I was like, we did it. We made friends with this guy. He's cool. We broke the barrier, right? Now we can sneak in here and buy cigarettes anytime we want, and he will not give a
Anytime.
fuck.
So much work for a cigarette heist. I
But we
love
also
it.
made friends with him.
Cigarette.
can't
But
remember
did it
his
work?
name,
Didn't
but-
know you would get the cigarettes and then
Oh yeah.
and he didn't
Bought some
rat on
cigarettes
you?
and stole a
When
hot.
did you quit smoking, Matt?
I was 23. I had pneumonia
Wow.
Go.
and I could
Oh, wow.
barely breathe. So like it was easy, but
Yeah.
then when I got better, I was still addicted. So what I did was I don't know if anyone here's ever smoked cigarettes, but like if you smoke half a cigarette and stick it in your pocket, that thing stinks really bad later.
Mhm.
Like it's bad. And so what I did was I would smoke 1 cigarette all day, like light it, puff, put it
Ew.
away, get
Yeah.
it back out, light it. And that got so nasty that I was like, I quit.
That's it. Andrea,
Fair.
did you ever smoke cigarettes?
Nope.
Nope. How about you,
Good on you.
Jake?
Yeah, I did Marlboro Red 100s and then unfiltered Luckies, baby. And then I rolled my own for a while.
I smoked unfiltered
Did you
Camels
quit?
for a while.
Mostly.
Good.
Winston Lights was my jam. That's what I smoked. Winston's and
Oh, that
Winston
feels,
Lights.
that's classy.
I don't understand in this day and age why people want to support big tobacco anymore.
Oh no, yeah, I think that's
I don't get it,
so
but
dumb.
I know people that smoke,
weed.
you know, and I just
I
you know,
support small tobacco.
Microdose
small
or
tobacco.
something.
Yeah,
I would
tobacco
literally buy.
country.
I would actually do that if there was like a tobacco farmer in my general
Like
vicinity.
pipe
I
tobacco.
might buy.
That's cool.
Yeah, like for weddings or whatever. Like yeah, this is locally
But
grown pipe tobacco. That should be
nowadays, people vape and smoke cigarettes.
That makes no sense to me. That makes
have-
no sense.
They're
to me.
gonna have bubble lung.
It's because they can do it. Do you like think about it? They want to smoke cigarettes, but it's expensive. So if you vape, you
In
can still
between.
afford to buy cigarettes because you're not smoking like a pack a day. Now you're smoking half a pack a day because you supplement with the vape,
And
which is
This is
here where I live, everybody that smokes goes down to the reservation and buys the cigarettes from the Senecas because they have
Cool.
the tobacco, and yeah, it's a lot cheaper, but you know, I don't know what the quality of the tobacco is.
And that's
But-
just proper American right there. I bought my
Yeah.
tobacco from Native Americans. What century
Mhm.
is it? Shockingly, the 21st.
my
Mhm.
wife would have like a pack laying around and smoke one every year or something.
Every year.
And I was like, I can't do it, man. If I
yeah.
smoke one cigarette now, I will puke my guts out. One time
Yeah,
a
I
guy rolled, because in Europe they roll joints with tobacco in them. And this guy was like, "Hey man, want a joint?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And sure enough, it had tobacco in it. I was like, "Is there tobacco in
Oh.
this?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like,
Ugh.
"I'm about to yak." And I spent like the next couple of hours puking. I was like, "Thanks, a-hole."
Yeah, that
I
should
can't
be
imagine that. No.
That's not a
hothead
joint.
courtesy anywhere. Yeah, you got to tell people if you're doing that. By the way, I fully understand why you would roll it with tobacco, purely for the consistency, sure. But you can't not tell people that that's what they're smoking. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In their defense, you're in Europe.
No, we weren't in Europe. We were in fucking
What?
Annapolis, Maryland.
Oh, well, you made it seem like you were in Europe. You said you were like, you know how they do it in Europe? Well, anyway, I was with this guy.
And he was European.
I did think he was in Europe, yeah.
I was like, oh, if you're in Europe, you
Okay.
should know better. Well, now this guy's just a
Europeans-
jackass.
I don't care if you're in an area where that's the traditional way of doing it. Make it the tradition to also give people a heads up. It's effed up, man.
No, I agree, but still.
When I was in Europe, I was in like the subway in Munich at like, I don't know, 3 a.m. And I was, we had been out drinking for sure, but I was trying to get back to the hotel and my friends were with me and coworkers. And I went up to these like young people in the subway and they immediately thought I was trying to bum a cigarette. And they're like, "Here you go." And I was like, "Thank you. But you tell me how to get back to the hotel." And they're like, "We don't speak English, And I was like, okay, because I don't speak Munich, right? I don't speak German. So I showed them the name of the hotel on a business card. This is flip phone days, and I didn't have European service, so I turned it off. And the guy said, it's like right. He was trying to like direct me, and I thought he was directing me down roads. He was directing me out the next door of the subway because it was like right there. The hotel was right there. And he finally took me by the hand, walked me up, and pointed to a building right outside the door and was like, "That's your hotel." I was like, "Oh shit, thank you."
So now
That
that
hotel
guy's
was
on
awesome.
a podcast talking about, the dumbest tourist I've ever seen in my life.
I thought he was bumming a cigarette, wasted a cigarette on him. That hotel was cool though, because it had a tiny little bar in it. And when you would come in, the guy behind the counter, he like slept in the back. So he would hear you come in and go, "Hello, would you like me to open the bar?" And we were always like, "Yeah." Didn't matter what time of night it
like that,
was.
Fritz.
When did it become
Yeah.
illegal to smoke in bars? What year was it?
Yeah, that would have
Anybody
been
want to
like,
look that up?
that would have been like
1930.
97.
In
96, 97.
In New York, I was there. Wait,
don't
was I
remember.
there? Maybe I'm just remembering being surprised because I was from Michigan where it was still legal. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I worked as a bartender for many years, put me through college, but a lot of things. But I inhaled enough secondhand smoke that I never had to smoke a cigarette. Nope, because it was everybody. The ashtrays were disgusting, and it was a big part of the job. Getting rid of emptying the ashtrays and washing the ashtrays every night when you had it was a big bar,
Yeah.
so there was a lot of ashtrays. A big part of the job.
94 to 98. I used to smoke in the break room at work in a grocery store.
That shit's crazy.
You go up, so there's like a storeroom where all the stuff that goes on the shelves is, stored. And then you go up these stairs to a break room, and it was just like 10 people up there smoking
cigarettes.
and then going back to work. And it was like, holy, I think about it now and I'm like, holy shit.
I think I was a smoker for like 5 minutes. I tried it and I wanted to do it, Oh, and I think I was older, but it just didn't. I don't know, didn't do it for me. Joints did.
Good.
Joints did.
Oh man, cigarettes.
Yeah, but
I
I've
just
had
don't
At the
husbands
time.
that smoked. It was worse, and then you have to always argue with them.
I don't
about
understand
smoking.
smoking cigarettes when weed
I don't
exists.
either. I know.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
we didn't
we're
have weed
approaching
that much, but
Yeah, I mean,
mimetic
I'm
hazard.
lucky.
I don't want anybody who was smoking to be thinking about it this much if they're not smoking anymore.
The-
You know,
yeah. The
I
crazy
don't want to be
shit.
the reason.
I told this story before about going across the Naval Academy obstacle course in the middle of the night to access the economics building because in the basement there was a cigarette vending machine and we had a dollar bill with a bunch of tape that we could put it
Oh,
into.
come
It
on.
triggers it and yank it out.
Is this the show?
It's a real story.
Get out of
And
here.
we had
Save that one.
friends lined up across the obstacle course because number one, if the MPs, and it was on this night we were hiding from the MPs, but if the MPs were chasing you, you would, it's good to have like 4 or 5 guys. You split up.
Yeah.
They're not going to chase you all. Or when you go back across the obstacle course, if your last checkpoint isn't there, something's wrong and they've bailed. And that's how you know shit, right? Like we have to be really careful going back across this obstacle course now. And then you get to the next station. Yeah, and then but at night it's just little stations that you can hide behind. But like, so then you get to the next one and they're not there. And then you get to the next one and they're not there. And so when you get to the gate that we knew the combination for to get into the housing section of the Naval Academy, they were all there going, fucking come on.
Wow.
Right? Like that. But it was crazy because my older brother and I are the ones who went into the building because we were just like the craziest ones.
But that's probably before security, because I bet there's a lot more security now.
This was like the 80s.
Yeah.
Now
You ever
would
think
be
about like how a
terrorists.
group
They
of
would-
group of
Yeah,
kids
in The
were able to,
Hague.
like just hack into the fucking
You would
naval
be
place
mad.
or whatever?
Yeah,
Oh
we'd
my
be in
God.
that. What's that island off Cuba or whatever? It would,
Epstein Island.
no, where they lock up terrorists.
Guantanamo.
Yeah, Guantanamo.
Yeah.
But like, it was crazy because we went into the building and we're down there. I'm doing the dollar bill. And my brother's just like, we emptied the machine of all the cigarettes except for menthols, and we like loaded up a backpack, and it was a
Jeez.
backpack full. And when we left the building, because it's right on the water. It's a Naval Academy. So there's a seawall on
Killing
one
me.
side of the obstacle course is the academy, and on the other
Right.
side is the water. And there's a boat with MPs patrolling. And what you do is you wait for them to go by. You know they're going to go all the way around. You have that much time. So when we came out of the building, there's a spotlight right on us. And we just fucking dropped to the floor. And
Dang.
somehow they didn't see us. And then a car drove by. An MP police car drove by. And an MP stands for military police, by the way.
Did you
So,
get
like,
scared?
I thought that was members
Yeah.
of parliament.
Yeah,
A
we
member
were
of Parliament.
shitting ourselves.
Let's move past this story as quick as possible, though. As I said,
Yeah.
I don't want to be the reason somebody starts a deadly habit.
Oh no, this has
I already feel bad
less,
for mentioning the brands.
This has less to do with
Oh.
cigarettes now and more to do with
Everybody's a grown up watching.
getting away
They are.
from, you can't, we were like Stranger Things kids, but not in a wholesome way. Because we had our
do
bikes
what is
ready. What?
I want to
But did
see
you
the
support
movie
Israel?
of Matt's life.
It was, there were other people there too. I
And you
wasn't
guys
alone.
were like thinking that just because I ripped off a few towels from some hoopy hotels,
We
that
gave you
was
so
bad.
much business for that.
I sent you the picture of the towels.
Yeah. So I saw
was
something
tripping.
recently that was the most brilliant marketing thing. There was a guy talking about a high-end hotel always, every moment of every day, but replace cigarette with cocaine and you've got it.
Jeez.
There was this thing that had these cute little salt shakers in high-end hotels, and on the bottom it said stolen from wherever the high-end hotel was. Every hotel should do that. And that absolutely was a goonie. That's what I got from
A
his
goonie?
stories.
Aw,
Legit
that's
goonie
cute.
cred.
That's cute. I'm losing
I just
it,
want a
guys.
hotel that has
Holy
towels that
shit.
get stolen from.
2 hours
yada,
and
yada.
15 minutes.
Oh, you're going to call it? Should we call it?
I don't know.
Oh, should we?
Yeah, we didn't hear
we
enough
should.
from Andrea. We really didn't.
Yeah,
hear
agreed.
enough.
We gotta hear more from
You
Andrea.
tired, Andrea?
I'm high as fuck. Well, I have something to share.
Okay, share.
Show and tell.
She's gonna leave.
Oh fuck. Hello?
We're here.
Hello.
So I got another. I've been getting into animation stuff.
Yeah.
And I got
Oh,
another
you got
one.
some more? Oh wow.
I got some to share.
Now, did you win crypto money from the baits you placed on the debate? And
we'll get into
how
that.
you're using. That's
We'll
how
get
you can
into
afford
that.
this.
I need to learn how to
momentarily.
do something that makes
That was
money.
an interesting answer.
Momentarily. Just I got an update on that.
Okay.
So I got Rugrats here.
Oh
you
my
got new
gosh.
one. Cool. Wow.
This is what I like to call the high Tommy Pickles. He just looks high as fuck.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
Fucking
You're
that's
a
awesome.
collector.
Look at the perspective is like from beneath the floor. That is really
the
cool.
backgrounds are amazing for Rugrats. They're gorgeous.
Wow. That's
And-
you have a lot of those now, huh?
I love what
just been
Andrea
dabbling.
collects. It's
That's
sweet.
awesome.
You need a gallery in your house now.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
set one up at some point.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
But-
gonna be a cool room.
Yeah. Rugrats is a pretty cheap thing. I got a couple
really?
for $70, so they're very cheap.
Oh wow.
So if anyone wants to collect Rugrats,
No.
Can't believe it's
Heck yeah.
hand rendered too, right?
yep, hand painted.
How cool.
What's the update on the betting?
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
So I don't know if anyone has been tracking this, but Donald Trump has had a nickname for Kamala Harris. Comrade Kamala, you may have heard of it.
Oh, this shit. God, I hate it.
So
She's a
on
Marxist.
Polymarket, they have you get to bet on if Trump will say certain things X amount of times. And
Marxist,
for the
fascist.
longest time, Comrade Kamala 3+ times. That's my free money wheel. But then the second assassination thing happened, and for whatever reason, he stopped saying Comrade Kamala. Needless to say, I've lost some money. So,
Oh no.
Oh.
yep.
Shit. So
I
you
kept
can't
betting on
find-
Comrade Kamala, and he stopped saying it.
Aw.
So that's my
Tinkerbell's
story.
got a point.
I can't stand. She's a Marxist, communist, fascist. I'm like, I wish at the debate.
I love
she
when
had
he's
just
like-
said to him, Donald, what is a Marxist? When he said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was
I love when
hoping
he's
he was
like, she's a Marxist. Well, actually, she's a bit of a communist, really. Like, it's amazing.
Oh,
Can you-
No, he knows
it's
what
just-
either of those
I
things
can't
are.
He
stand
has
it.
no idea.
What is
It's
it?
amazing.
45 days? 'Cause I
You know,
don't
I'm
do it
undecided
anymore.
though. I don't know.
You're undecided.
Well,
I don't like either of them.
Oh, well, who
yeah.
does really?
Yeah,
Just on our
so-
channels. I mean,
I'm taking a little break from from little
yeah,
political bets. So
for a little while.
just a little bit,
A little while.
I
I
do
don't
feel-
bet.
In an old office job I had, I made Jake dollars specifically so that we could have a currency that we could bet on, that we
really?
could bet with. And yeah, I feel like we should absolutely do a left
During
past 10
work?
version of that. Oh yeah.
That sounds like a
Think
great
about
idea.
like stuff that would happen in the office, and at the end of the week you'd
Really?
see who had the most
That's
whatever.
hilarious. What a great idea,
Good times.
actually. It was probably, if the HR person knew, that's morale boosting, actually.
Hey, okay.
I mean, I
You're gonna
would've
say
thought
like,
that
yeah,
was-
get me fired.
No, I would have thought that was great. Turned it into something fun for the employees to have to look forward to in their miserable fucking job. Yeah, why not?
Hold on, hold on. Yeah.
It's a brilliant idea. Jake cash. So you want left past 10 cash?
I feel like
I
there's
want some
something
real
there.
cash. God damn it!
I'm down to
Ugh.
use real money.
Oh, I will legitimately gamble with you guys. And
Yeah.
knowing how this tends to go, I'll lose, but it'll be worth it. It'll be fun.
And if you need help setting up Polymarket, all you need is a VPN.
I'm not
Okay.
setting up any market. But Andrea, you're in it to
I'm
win.
gonna do the John from San Antonio.
I try.
Oh, I want
That
you to.
motherfucker is the slickest. Like he's just I like his vibe.
He's
I don't know how else
laid
to say it.
back with his smoke fry. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm John.
He's so
he's
chill.
he's so chill. God damn.
Here's why it works for him, I think, because he's right. Like he
Yeah.
knows his stuff so
Well, yeah.
thoroughly. He could show up in a bathrobe eating like noodles out of a cup and just fucking demolish. Like he knows it so well.
You just gave me a show. I'm gonna do my show next Tuesday in a bathrobe and
Hell
sit
yeah.
back like this
Yes.
and know my topic. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be an expert deliverer. You got to have everything on point.
Yeah. That's hard for me to have
Yeah, me
everything
too.
on point.
Oh, do you guys
Well-
have the thing where the shower version of you writes the show, but then the real version of you has to do the show?
I
don't
hate when
write
that
my
happens.
shows. I don't
That's
know
why I
if
do my
write-
shows in the shower.
Oh, there you go.
Shower. I don't know about writing them. I create them, put them together, but I don't like I don't have a checklist. No, I don't know.
I do it.
Fair enough.
I
Do
do
you
it
have
in
a
the morning.
checklist, Nick? Do you have a checklist of what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Sometimes. How about
Mine's
you
usually
say you write
everything
it in the morning?
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
up and write it in the morning over coffee. And this is in advance. And then, like, if I feel like I need to listen to podcasts or audiobooks, I do that while cleaning the house. And then, so anyway, I get up like in the morning and I have coffee and I compose interviews and research. And then in the afternoon, watch an MR, I will tweak them. And then that night, I'll
cool.
sit in bed and tweak them. Unless I have a show.
I guess I do that. I just don't write a script. I just put it all together and create.
Oh, it's all, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
And it
put,
takes-
yeah, that's a
yeah.
good point because I don't do like graphics and stuff like that.
Oh, I
don't
do that.
yeah, I don't do like a
I
show
just have-
on screen. I just
I have
compose
fun
the
doing
interview.
it. I have fun doing it, making new intros and all that. I really do. I really enjoy it. I love graphics. I love all that shit. I wish I could get better. I'd like to get a new, more sophisticated software to learn even more, but it's hard sitting, so I have to do it on my iPad in the living room
Ooh,
first. Yeah.
Although some advantages there. iPads are
Yeah, but
artist
it's-
friendly.
Yeah, that's true. But it's harder to get your video done than just sitting here with the screens, all the stuff to pull together. But it is how I work. I work in 3 different locations. This is the longest I've sat in this room
Do you
for a
want to
while.
go? Should we go?
I'm going. I have to go to bed.
Yeah.
My
Matt wants to
body
leave.
is
Like,
saying-
did someone say leave? Are we gonna go? Hey,
All right.
can we go now? Can we go?
Look, I just want to say, y'all,
Happy
it's been
50th, guys.
happy 50th. It's
Yeah.
been 50 wonderful episodes with y'all. This has become the thing in which my week is centered around and centered by, and most of all,
Goodbye.
Yeah, and so now I will reveal this is actually episode 25. I just put 50 on there. It
Really?
just feels like it's been 50. It's only been 25.
Nope.
Oh,
Dropping
geez.
like fucking goddamn motherfucking.
Jeez. All right. Well, I mean, I just wish people would give me something to work with. But get what you pay for. At least no one's going to talk over the outro. Hey, what are you doing? I thought we were ending the show. Are we not
What?
ending the show? You make fun of me like, oh, you want to end the show, and then you ditch, and then you come
Well,
right
not
back.
only are you talking over the outro, you have completely dismantled the outro.
It was almost over, and then you boop, pop back up.
I didn't pop back up.
Oh,
You
this is
popped
getting
me up.
fucking ridiculous.
Wait, what? What is this?
I just came in to talk over the outro. I'm still
Oh,
for being rude at any given point. Yeah.
well, I was
happily.
trying to talk over the outro, and then the outro ended abruptly.
The funny
was-
thing
yeah.
is, no one leaves. None of the viewers leave. Maybe
Well, it's 'cause
one
you've
person.
shown them. Well, you've taken the. You're gonna hate this, but the Marvel cinematic style. You give a little something
It's-
after the credits.
It's
Someone
like musical
coined it.
chairs. The guy who leaves is a fucking idiot.
Someone coined it the no, but it feels like it. Someone once coined it the Midwestern goodbye, where you're just like,
No,
well,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna go now, and they just stand in the door saying goodbye for like 12 hours. Sandy, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh my God.
Absolutely, my whole family does that. Thanksgiving is hell because the last hour is at
Is
the.
it next week already?
It
It's
is
episode
May
51.
Okay, it's next week already. All right. All
We're
right.
gaining viewers. Who
Oh.
wants to look at TikTok?
Finally.
Did
I'm
you figure
outta
out that
here.
volume button?
Love you, Sandy.
All right. Anyway,
I'll have a gander. You
I
know
was
it.
just kidding.
Oh,
have
I
nothing
just
queued up.
now got struck with a fucking sinister idea that I'm gonna pitch to you as soon as this is done. As soon as this is done, I can't do it live or it won't work. But
I don't really do sinister.
Oh, you might like it.
Anyone who says I
Incidentally,
do,
this is something that I know the Letterhack would never do.
I was gonna say
there you
originally
go again.
over
Talking
the
over.
outro. I was trying to say this earlier before I was censored.
Yes,
That
Andrea.
there will be a new outro for episode 52.
Oh,
Yo,
1 year.
Ooh.
okay.
I haven't started it yet, but I'm announcing it now to keep myself accountable.
So
Yes,
52. That's the end of volume 1.
That's right.
Oh, I
So that'll
like
be our
that.
volume 2 outro, outro.
Intro.
I like just doing this like an anime. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's
I
great.
wonder.
I've
the
gotten
graphics
better
will
at
be.
music in the last 52 weeks, so we'll see how it goes.
I can't wait.
Hell yeah.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
I'm gonna have a horrible night. It's not. It's just getting stuck.